Play a song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Play a song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 turn it up and then I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
Well, good evening, people. Hope everyone's as good as they're going to be after a toothless, spineless, shambolic fucking performance like that. What a total mess that one ended up in. Now, I must admit, I didn't expect nothing special. We haven't been playing particularly special, but I expected better than that. I expected a bit more bollocks in it than that. Personally, I think Frank got it wrong. I think the players got it wrong. I think everything in that game went wrong. I think about the only thing we can say good about that game was the fact that we only lost 1-0. The fact that we only lost the game 1-0. For me, by half-time, could have easily been 3 down. By the end of that, we should have lost that at least 5-0. I mean, if they would have had their shooting boots on today properly, Vicario making good save here and there, we would have got absolutely destroyed there. I mean, they beat us in literally every which way possible. And we was even meant to be the home team. Definitely not looking good at home, are we? So, the question is, where are we going to go from there? I mean, with our following games coming up, forgetting the Champions League, we've got Man U coming up, we've got Arsenal coming up, and Arsenal are going to be finishing better than that, more than likely. Yeah, not looking particularly great, is it, in that aspect? So what can Frank do with this? Because something is definitely not working. Something is definitely not clicking properly in that team. I understand we got a lot of injuries and things is going to take a little bit of time, But for me, something is not working. I mean, down to the fact that before the game started, I was talking to Sava on his show. I couldn't even work out what formation we was actually going to use. There was an option of a few. But then when I see the formation we're starting, I must admit, I'm thinking, to me, that looks like a 4-2-3-1. Why are we using Bergvall on there? Why are we using Sarr, to me, what looked like as the 10? There was different options on there, basically. We don't know what goes on off the pitch. We don't know what's going on there. But I don't think we particularly had the best team on there. And another one, I'll go into the show. Porro, man. Not looking good, is he? I mean, for me, in that game, he got torn to pieces. Our weak spot nearly every game, which I don't blame all of it on him, because he's not a right back, he's a wing back, and people focus on him and he gets cooked for it every fucking time. I mean, honestly, that was scary to watch in its own way of what could happen. I suppose we're going to have to see. So, got a guest here with me, Dietrich. How we doing, mate?
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Apart from that, I think I need a drink after that one.
You need more than a drink. You need you need some white color too.
Tell me it, mate. What's that? Bring some color to my face.
Oh yeah, you need some color. You need every color of the rainbow. You need it after watching this disgusting performance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, with that, mate, what was your opinion on that performance then, basically? I mean, I'll let you say that, and then I'm going to say hello to a couple of people on the side once we've got a few more watching. Obviously, not many know that I've gone live all of a sudden. Had to take the past 6 weeks or more off, basically, medical reasons and that. Going to slowly but surely start doing a couple of shows again and work way into it. But apart from that, mate, back on my feet and running, and after a game like that, it's enough to put you on your ass, isn't it? So go on, mate, your opinion on the game.
Okay, my personal opinion on the game, which a lot of people know I'm not his biggest fan, but I feel like he got it completely wrong. When I saw, well, because like we never know exactly how it's going to pan out, but when I saw in the midfield, Polina, Bentancur, Sarr, and Bergvall, I was like, there's no way he's going to play either Bergvall or Sarr on the left wing. There's no way.
I didn't think that was going to happen as well. That's why I was struggling to work out formation.
I was trying to be fair. I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's going to change maybe the formation, or who knows. But when I saw on the left, not Bergvall, sorry, on the left wing, I was like, this guy's taking the mick. He is. And I try to be fair with him. I try to give him always the benefit of the doubt, because we all know the squad is pretty shit. But you're not helping with yourself when you do stupid decisions like that. How is it fair on fans to watch this garbage week in, week out? And to be honest with you, we deserve 1-0 is a lot. We got lucky.
Very.
It should have been at least 5-0.
Easy could have been.
But once again, like, there's nothing much we can add to that. Our forward line just sucks in general. This manager clearly cannot get the best out of our star players. And when I mean star players, I mean our supposedly star. Like, Poro looks absolutely shattered and garbage this year. And Simmons, the less the better. Because if I speak on him, I'm probably going to get your show cancelled. He's been absolutely atrocious, this guy. And Kudus, I actually feel sorry for him. You can tell he's absolutely knackered.
He definitely starting to look a bit burnt out, isn't it? Right, so I'll just say hello to a couple of people on the chat that are here. Wayne, how we doing, mate? It's gone all funny with the bloody names again on here. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But evening, Dan and all. Another bad day at the office at home. Yes, definitely agree with you there, mate. Sadly expected. Either way, as it's not the end of the world. No, it's not. But it's definitely telling us something, in my opinion, there. The way they just totally dominated us at our home ground again it's definitely questioning something. And also saying here, the question should be, where is Solanke? I think he's on his way back from an injury, basically. Lynn, how you doing? Good to see ya. Say evening, Dan, and Bad Nasher. Evening to you too. And Jacek, Porro is useless outside of his crosses. He's not a right back. This is what I keep telling people. His defence leaves a lot to be desired. He's a wing back.
Can I answer this quick comment?
Go for it.
Okay, is it fair on a specific guy that you bought from Sporting to be your offensive wingback to play him as basically a right CB? Is it fair on him?
It's how he's been basically pushed into doing everything at the moment as a right back when he's not genuinely a right back, isn't it?
Yeah, the only times you see him bomb forward is when we have not a corner. Like, sure, he hasn't been good, but we're not getting the best out of some of our players, and Pearl's one of them. He is a wing back, not a right back. There's a huge difference.
Exactly. I very much agree with that. And I do think he's been on the decline basically since, before the season started. By the end of last season, he was definitely on the way down there. He's not a defensive-minded player, and it shows he is our liability in defence every time because he's just not a defensive-minded person. He's a wing-back, which, okay, you have to be able to defend a little bit, but the main job of a wing-back is getting forward and getting the ball in there. And Tony, big up Dan in the chat. Big up to you too, mate. Hope you're good. What's Lynn saying here? In my humble opinion, you are not playing as a team. It looks disjointed, and Kudus tried doing all on his own as well. And Bentancur was lucky to still be on the pitch. I agree with that. I'll go into that one. And Frank didn't look like he had a plan B. I must admit, I can't deny none of that at the moment. And Lynn also saying again, your goalkeeper was the guy who saved you again. Yes, he did. Past 3 games now, you can say he's definitely done that a couple of times. And Easy Doggy saying, what's up, Dan? Poor game. And Easy Doggy saying, can you say what's up to my friend Lee? All right, what's up, Lee? Whoever you are, fella. Hello, mate. Hope you're having a good day as well. And Fancy, big up, Dan. Big up to you. I mean, I'm probably getting half the names wrong and know who half you are. It just shows on here very different who people are. Ryan, big up, Dan. Degree at the chat. I turned it all off before half time. I can't stomach this crap players anymore. I'm starting to get the feeling that a lot of people are feeling like that. Bad Nasher, good to see you streaming again. Thanks a lot, mate. I will start doing more again. Just again, down to medical issues. Had to back off for a while. I suppose you could say down to mental issues as well after today. And F saying stadium and fans are toxic at the moment and the players feel it. Well, keep playing like that and they deserve everything they get, in my opinion. They can't just sit there and expect to get the hands clapped for them every bloody time when it's going good, and when it's going bad, that people just, okay, I get the picture, support your team and whatever and that, but they also need to be told when they're doing poor. And today was fucking shambolic. And if they got stick for it, as far as I'm concerned, they deserved it. And I'm not even going to try and read that out. He brings us Kudus, Simmons, Moane, and Paulinia, and a 0.5 XG. Was it even a 0.5 XG? I thought it was even lower than that.
No, it was 0.05, yeah.
I mean, that's terrible on its own, isn't it? It's the best Frank can do. And he's also saying here, Frankie's rubbish. I'm sorry, as any manager that has a bad home is out of his depth. Okay, fair enough, if that's your opinion. For me, I'll go into that one. I can see where people are coming from here, and I can't argue some of it, but I can't also expect things to change in 5 minutes. But we will go into this one because I think it's a good subject that a few people have obviously got a different opinion on. There's nothing wrong with that because it is purely opinionated at the end of the day. Also saying here, Chelsea could have won the game 4-0 with ease. You say 4-0, mate, they could have had that 5-0, 6-0 all day long. And Tequila, big up to you, mate. Can't believe I'm seeing Frank out, bring Ange back in the community. Any thoughts, Dan?
No, I would never.
Don't want Ange back under any circumstances. Being Frank out for me right now is too much too soon. I can see what people are getting frustrated with, but I predicted this was going to happen anyway. And again, I will go into that. And some of it is down to Spurs supporters. And also saying, I want to drink from your mate. Being dyslexic don't fucking help that either. So I want to drink. He's got his creative players, has he? Where? And we're now worse for it. if he can't do much with Kudus and Simmons, the warnings and the signs are there. Simmons, mate, I mean, again, another one for me, is a player who definitely hasn't landed on his feet. That's for sure. That's another one we can go into. And also F Sank saying Tequila, people have forgotten they were witnessed only 6 wins in 19 home games. Totally true. Roberto, how we doing, fella? Good to see you on here. And hey, Dan, good to see you back. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Also getting said, dear, now the fans want Maddison back. Simmons is playing so bad and Kudus won't score much. I don't think he's a goal scorer either. I think he's more of that target man, hold it, get something happening on the right. But I also think we could possibly see something very good out of him if we play him in the middle. For me, this formation is not working with this team properly. And Beanie Guy, without Levy, Kane and Son, Spurs are shite. Well, mate, you could give us one of the best teams out there. Our strike force is shambolic. It is abysmal. Also saying, I want to drink, is saying, this is going to be a team that relies on 1-0 victories. Yep, and Tequila also saying, I know, mate, that's crazy. And Beanie Guy, so true. Right, so let's get... Well, you're getting a question here off Ryan. That meant to say Dietrich, stupid, autocorrect. Okay, whatever you've done there. And also saying
what
here...
did he say? What did you say?
I think he meant to autocorrect something. I think he put something...
Oh, okay, I thought you mentioned something.
I mean, half of the way the names are coming up on here, they're coming up different again and that on here.
Oh.
I can't read half of them all because they're all in one bloody line.
I thought you mentioned something.
What's wrong with this club? Yeah, what's right with it? We do know that. But again, it's another thing of only time will tell here. So if we go into that, the question I want to start with you, Dietrich, yeah? I mean, for me, was the formation there. At the start of that, I was struggling to work out what formation were we going to use? What formation are we going to use? What are we going to do? And there were several different things that you could look at that and think of. And I must admit, the one that I wasn't predicting out of it was a 4-2-3-1 with playing, if I saw this correctly at the start, with Sarr as the 10 and Bergvall on the left, is how it looked to me.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Now I'm questioning, unless there's other injuries there, I understand certain players not playing so good. What the fuck was all that about? Bergvall on the left. Now I get Odegaard ain't good, Tell ain't good, whatever else. But personally, I don't think Bergvall's nothing special. He's got a lot to prove as yet. I think there's going to be a big improvement in him.
Yeah.
But he struggles very much to do anything apart from getting the running forward with the ball. He's got no last pass on him or shot. What the fuck are we doing sticking him out on the left? I would have put Odegaard there. I'm not saying that's any better option, but at least he's a left-sided mentality player. What did you see with the formation today? Because I must admit, with the players I saw there, I did not see a 4-2-3-1 coming. Maybe I just don't read the game that well.
I'm allowed to criticize Frank without getting blocked on YouTube, just to make sure before I say anything.
Of course you are. I ain't going to block you.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm not taking the piss out of it. So, first of all, I know we have a lot of injuries. Yes, I've heard that excuse 100 freaking times. I'm sick and tired of hearing it. But it's not an excuse, once again, to play players out of position. Unless you really have to. There's no way this season you can prove to me that, as much as I think he's a good player, maybe might become a good player in Bergvall, you cannot give me the argument that he can play left wing. The guy can't even play number 10 or number 8 right now. And you want to play him on the wing. He doesn't create, he doesn't score. What does he do? And now this manager, instead of playing your players at the best position and get the best out of them, he takes the mick out of it. And honestly, we got lucky that I wouldn't say we got lucky. I'll take it back. Unfortunately, he got injured. It's the time to rectify your mistake. I would leave Sarr as the 10 because I know Xavi's not playing well. But put your winger. You believe in Odegaard. You think he's your left winger at the moment because we don't have anyone. Then leave him there. Why take him off? If I'm not mistaken, he didn't play against Everton last week. If I'm not mistaken. He didn't start. So why
Right.
would you bench him against Chelsea? What,
I
what's,
don't know. I mean, the thing I'm
what's
struggling
the
with is
excuse?
why stick Bergvall out on the left? That, you know what? Even putting Sarr as a 10 to me makes more sense than sticking Bergvall
But it
out on the
doesn't,
left.
Dan, it doesn't make any sense when we've been, okay, we're not the pros, but we've been screaming for God knows how long. It's time to be more offensive at home instead of pragmatic. You cannot tell me that Sarr is going to make a difference against Chelsea at home. It doesn't make any sense. What you do away is not at home. It's two complete different atmospheres. You gotta take the game by
You
the
know
scruff
what?
of the neck. You knew Chelsea were gonna play a defensive formation. It was mad obvious. It was all about the wingers being counter-attacking wingers. That was their method.
You know what? With the style of play, I think one of the things we struggle with at Spurs that hasn't changed since we've had Ange is it's not us that predicts how we play as such or predicts the other team how they're going to play as such. I think it's more down to how the other team plays that predicts the way we play. I don't think we force it into a team to play a certain way as such. It's like we almost leave them to it to play how they want, and then it
Yeah.
makes us play our way as such, if you get where I'm coming from. And with that, it's like when it's games against City, for instance, yeah? We know that City are going to come at us all guns blazing.
Yes.
Then it makes
Either
us
way.
play a certain way. It makes us
Yes.
play that counter-attacking football. Now, I know a lot of people, Spurs supporters especially, don't like that style of play. It's not the fucking Spurs way to play, whatever way. Well, for me, there is no set Spurs way to play. You play whatever way you got to play to win.
Oh my
And
God.
games like that is what makes us play the counter-attacking, like PSG did with us and everything. I honestly think, I still don't think we've got the players, especially with us at the moment, with the caliber to play a 4-2-3-1 style of football. We have not got the team there to play an attacking-minded style of football. So are we in a situation at the moment where we're sort of screwed if we do, screwed if we don't? Because if we go into an attack, where have we got any playmaker to set anything up? And
Can
look what the shambles we've got up front.
Can I answer this question? Where people get it wrong, it's always they believe in two extremes. If we play a bit conservative, it means we're parking the balls Mourinho style or Nuno style. No. If you want to be a bit more progressive, it means you're all guns blazing like Ange. No, it's the complete opposite. It's about finding balance. Yes, we do not have. Oh, yes,
Very true.
Simmons is not firing all cylinders. That's true. Yes, we do not have a good forward line. I 100% get it. Trust me, I do. But you know your fullbacks is your only width, especially on the wing. You have Kudus, you have Poro, you have Udogi, Spence, if he plays on the right. You have players that can, I wouldn't say create magic, but they can create something. I'm not saying it's going to be something that's going to be a goal scoring opportunity, no, but they might create a little thing.
No matter what way we do it, it's not
Yeah.
going to look pretty, is it?
It's never going to look pretty, and I 100% get it. It wasn't pretty under Conte, but it worked. It worked. He got the best out of the squad. I'm just asking Frank for the everything I believe in. I don't believe in him, but I just believe he can change it because he's not Ange.
I mean,
he's
you
not
didn't
stubborn.
you didn't want Frank from the start, did you?
I never
You're
wanted
not
him. That's
being
the only
fan.
reason I'm Frank out. But I want him to succeed. I really want him to succeed. The best way to get the best out of this team currently, use Poro at his best attribute. Don't tell him to be the third center back. Tell him, bomb forward. We have Polina. We have Bentancur. You have cover everywhere. Find something. Do you realize?
You can even, for me, you can even, when he goes forward, because he's obviously better going forward than Spence is. That's not his strongest point. He's a better defensive-wise. I mean, he's all right at going forward, but he's better defensive-wise. But that is where you have Poro go forward if you're playing 4 at the back, and then you have it slot 3 into back. Spence coming in on the left-hand side, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless if you had 3 at the back, that's when you can bump forward your both of your fullbacks. But in either case, if you play a 4, it's always one and the other drops back and covers. You gotta use these guys at their best attributes. I get it. We sold everyone. We don't have the forwards. Yes, we suck. I get it. I get it. I get it. But you gotta try something. Do you realize today we recorded a 0.05 xg?
Yeah,
And do you know what? Do you know?
already got shown.
And do you know what's even crazier with that stat? This is the lowest recorded xg out of any team this season.
I can easily believe that.
Do you see
I
how
mean, that
pathetic
was-
it is?
That was absolutely terrible. I mean,
Yeah, but-
on the formation side of this, yeah. Now, I know people, they've got their own style of play. Everyone's got their own style of like what they're watching. I love the Italian style of football. A lot of people don't like that, say it's too pragmatic and whatever else.
Mhm.
The thing I think a few people need to have a look at is that just because you're playing with 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it, 5-2-2-1, 3-4-2-1, 3-4-1-2, whatever way you want to put it, 3 at the back doesn't necessarily mean you're going out and out defense.
No, exactly. It doesn't mean
Now,
you're going.
Me,
Yeah,
Dietrichs,
yeah.
we've got certain better players in certain positions, yeah, that we already had covered as such. Okay, we wanted Johnson out the right, we got Kudus in the right, whatever else. We got Paulinia in the middle, which has been a god blessing in disguise like for us. Player that I wanted since his first season at Fulham. But we haven't got anybody fresh in that team that can change it to a 4-2-3-1 that can necessarily make it work. I still don't think nothing has changed from last season, personally. And what I mean by that is, I still think this team is screaming out to be played at 3-4-2-1.
I've said it since.
5-2-2-1. Mate, I've been saying it for nearly 2
Yep.
years. Yeah. Now, people are going to say you can't play like that at home. And with the injuries we've got at the moment, it's a tricky one to keep, but stuff it, go for it. And then if it does go wrong in the middle of the game where we get a injury or whatever, then we're just going to have to change it totally. I get that. It's different opinions. But when it's frustrating, Porro is not a fucking defender. Wingbacks, we can get the most out of them. Even if we're playing Spence on the left, Porro on the right. With the team we had today, you can still stick Danzo, Paulinia, and bloody Van der Ven now. Maybe Romero wasn't fit to start, which he obviously wasn't, so we didn't. Maybe this wouldn't have been the game to go five at the back or play with wing backs. But overall, I still think this team is made for a 3-4-2-1. We have not got the capability and any attacking aggression, creativity in there to play this team as a 4-2-3-1, in my opinion. If anything, we're less creative than we were last season for the sheer fact of we haven't got Maddison and Simmons. Just, well, he hasn't even particularly had anything that you would even say is a good game. You could say he's had an all right game here or there, but he definitely hasn't landed on his feet, has he? I mean, for me, I'd still be playing with the 5 at the back and whatever way I need to do it, mainly relying on my wing backs to get up there and get the ball in there. And then obviously, if I'm playing with Bentancur and Paulinia in the middle, I've definitely got that cover on the defence side of me as well. And then in front of that, I'm playing Simmons and Kudus. Kudus can cover that cam as good as he can on the right, I personally believe. And then up front, I'm just going to have to take the gamble with whether I stick Mwane up there or Richarlison up there or whatever else. Because we haven't got anything to close a team down. We haven't got anything to make something happen. So again, I don't think nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed, but you know what fucking annoys me the most? Last year we had arguably a worse forward line, but we still managed to look decent going forward.
Our defense looks a lot more stable than it did, yeah? But
yeah.
Come on, people, let's be honest here, yeah? Now, I ain't Frank out, I'm Frank in, and I know Frank's going to need time, and I think we need some windows to sort it out. I don't think it's going to happen that quickly, but
did you see what happened with the players?
Don't go right, yes, I'll go into that one.
Yeah.
But when something don't go right, you need to question it, same as when it does go right, basically. And just something is not looking right on that team at the moment. I mean, the creativity is just... It isn't there. There is no creativity there whatsoever. So can we go game in, game out and rely on set pieces and things like that?
It doesn't work then. It doesn't work. unless you have Arsenal's team, which is basically a basketball team, everyone is like 6'4", it's not gonna work. It's
I
not gonna
mean,
work. You cannot rely.
Matrix.
I cannot rely. It doesn't work
Go
in
on.
life. You cannot rely on only one specific things. The only reason why people succeed, they have multiple tools in their arsenal. That's how it works. If you rely only on one thing, and team are gonna find it out, they're gonna say, you know what? I know they're gonna try to. It's gonna be about corners and set pieces. Let me drop back every time they have a corner. I'm gonna put everyone in the box because I know they won't score.
Look,
They won't manage to
I
score.
think one thing we can be honest on here, yeah, sorting out this defense to an extent
It was
for
an
me
easy
wasn't.
job.
I wouldn't say it was easy, but it definitely wasn't the hardest job out there. I mean, for
Dan,
me, drop them back 10 yards and stop using inverted wing
it's
backs, you're conceding 15 less goals. So
it's
let's not
that
make it
easy.
out like it, so
It's
let's not
that
make
easy.
it out like he's had to be fucking Einstein to sort the
But
defense
that's my
out here,
point. It
yeah.
was easy.
It wasn't the
And you put
hardest job in the
Paulinho.
world.
And you put Paulinho in the
I
DM.
agree. I agree. It wasn't the hardest job a manager's ever been given. But the rest of that team, how is Frank meant to make something happen with this? This is why, again, for me, a 3-4-2-1 is the one we've got the most option of doing something. I personally think people say you can't play that at home. Well, obviously, a 4-2-3-1 isn't working at home, is it?
It's not about, honestly, Dan, it's not only about formations. It's about looking at your opponent, looking at the weaknesses. You know Chelsea's biggest weakness is the defense. And
I thought their goalkeeper had an all right game today.
yeah, the
Compared to what
goalkeeper
he
had a
usually
good
does.
game. I'll give him his props. He had a good game as much as I think he's a garbage goalkeeper. But he had a good
Same.
game.
Yeah.
And you know, Chelsea's biggest strength is the midfield. Forward line, it's really meh. You gotta bounce back on what their freaking weakness is, and we don't do that against other teams. If you know they suck defensively, I would tell Kudus every single freaking time, and Poro, you're gonna double up on Cucurella and make him look like a fucking idiot. Poro overlap, Kudus try to beat him on the 1v1. But we never done that. We never put players on that situation because we were too busy trying to be defensively solid.
This is one way where I do say again, I don't actually blame Frank for this one, yeah. But in one aspect, nothing has changed in the aspect of what does every team bloody focus on? Porro. Because he can't defend. So they start pumping the ball over to him and get two people on him and that, and he ends up making mistakes and he ends up screwing things up because he's not a defensive player. Nearly every team does it to us. Even what was it? Doncaster tried doing it to
And
us.
if
And that's like it. In
yeah,
that aspect, not much has changed.
and you know what's the best solution for it? You play Danso right CB or put Spence right center back, and leave Poro going forward. Tell him defensively
I mean,
you can track back, but we're never gonna put you in a situation where you got to be on a 1v1.
do you think that, like it's just said here by Rob, like Dan, I think we'll see three at the back once we have all our centre backs fit. Do you think it could be something like that? I mean, because
No,
at the moment we could squeeze three at the back, but if an injury happens with it or whatever, we'd be in a bit of trouble. Basically, I know
it doesn't.
Paulinho can cover a centre back. I know you can even
Okay.
stick Spence there as the left ball playing centre back. Basically,
Okay, let me counter that argument with we play with four at the back and we didn't have any subs if we had a fullback injured because the doggy was injured. So what's the issue? We took that chance with playing four at the back and we didn't have a doggy and we didn't have any cover. Now that Archie Gray is injured, and we still took that chance. Guys, it doesn't matter. Injuries, you cannot predict them. If it happens, whatever. But you gotta play what's best in front of you. And unfortunately, that team is built for Glasner or Conte. It's built for three and wing backs. And we do have the
I
center
still
backs
think
for
it
it.
is.
Spence is good enough to play as a cover for right center back. Now you have Udogi. You can get the best out of this guy since after watching him in Italy. Boro, he was renowned to be one of the best wing backs in the world at a certain point because he was just bombing forward. And when people say, like, Scott, 3 at the back won't fix anything, you don't know until you try.
I do see where you're coming from on it. I do, and I do get other people's points. I mean, I'm not expecting nothing to change in 5 minutes. Yes, we lost to Chelsea today. We always fucking use Chelsea. It's not the end of the world. We're still, what is it, 4th in the league?
No, it is the end. Right? It is the end of the world. It is, because you don't. I hate fucking losing against these guys.
Mate, it's just a normal thing. It's like that day where you go out and you look at the time. It's like, oh fuck, I need to go out and have dinner with a parents-in-law sort of thing. It's one of them nights sort of thing. I mean, like Benny Guy saying here, Dan. But to be honest, we have changed managers so many times. We better listen to Conte. Conte was right. Players are shit, no matter who's been in charge, of course, except few elite players. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, I ain't Frank out, not at all. But there is certain things that I think he needs to focus on that need to change. Or is it the fact that we're just riding this out till January, hoping that we get a player or two in January, and then we've just got to ride it out until the end of the season and wait until the summer transfer window to see if the club actually means business?
Can I give a counter on this argument? Sure, Conte was
it's not an argument. It's just a
statement. No, just to
right on what he said.
Yeah, I agree with him, but I'm just gonna say, just like devil's advocate, Conte said those players are not good, which is true. But if you look at, for example, his team in Napoli, they're far from the best team in Italy, far from it. And Dan can agree with that.
I wouldn't say they're the best team there either.
They're not the best team.
And he's getting the best out of every player.
Exactly.
In the right way.
Look at Scott McTominay.
Where you were coming from.
Scott McTominay was one of the best midfielders in freaking. He was a Ballon d'Or nominee for clown out loud, and everyone at Man U was calling him the biggest waste of space. This is when you have a manager, he can get the best out of your players, and that's what I want to see.
I mean, the time when we played
and Eugene,
and
don't
when
say
we looked the best
Eugene,
was against PSG. Go on, you were saying?
Yeah, and Eugene saying, "Stop it! It's Syria. Syria is a fucking tough league."
It's not as simple as people think. That league is, if anything, is in some aspects tighter than the Premiership, but in other aspects not. Overall, the Premier League is a better league to watch to a lot of people's eyes. But Serie A, there's some good clubs in there with each other. Definitely, it's not quite as simple out there as people think. But I still say we always seem to look better as a counter-attacking team. We haven't got that player to close. We haven't got that player, that magic in there or anything to create our own chances. It's like we almost need to take the chance that gets created for us. Like Chelsea did today, by the way, yeah? Chelsea, the way they got that goal in the end was down to 3 shambolic bloody fuck-ups by the defenders.
Yeah, but
and them pressing on us. We didn't even press on them when they had the ball.
Yeah, but they pressed.
That's what I just said. That is what I just said.
But if I ask you then this question, and I swear I'm not trying to be like disingenuous.
Say it how you say it.
Other than set pieces, can you please tell me what is the overall pattern of play on how are we gonna attack and score under Frank? I'm just trying to be fair. Like, what is the style? Because under Ange, I saw it. I know it was kamikaze and it was fucking ridiculous.
But you saw the style there.
But I saw the style. Under Frank, other than set pieces, what is the style? How are we going to score? That's my only question. Because I still don't see it after 10 games.
Honestly, mate.
And he has to take a drink.
I don't know. I honestly don't actually know. I think I can see what he's trying to do.
No, I'm not saying trying.
But
I'm saying what is he doing?
I must admit, I'm struggling to see what he wants them to do there as such.
Because the players, they look lost. So I'm trying to say.
I wouldn't say they look lost. No, under Ange, the players looked lost and didn't have a clue.
No, lost as in trying to score a goal other than set pieces. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because we haven't got nothing up front to create it. I mean, this comment here, can we finally admit that Frank has lost the dressing room, Dan? I don't think he's lost the dressing room. I mean, I must admit. I mean, look, tell you what, let's go to that bit quickly, yeah? I mean, I can jump and go back to things here, yeah? I mean, I have to write things down, otherwise I bloody forget it anyway. VDV and Spence did not look very impressed when they walked off, did they? But for me, I don't think VDV had a good game. I think that was a fucking terrible game he had by there, considering how good he's been all season. And it wasn't bad on how good he's been. It was a bad game no matter what. And I think you can say nearly all our players, bar one, maybe bar two, I could say, pretty much had a shambolic game. Yeah. I don't think he's lost the dressing room. I think that's going a bit too soon, sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, losing the fan base at Spurs is not hard to do. You can do that in 5 fucking minutes. I mean, it is not hard to do, yeah? But I don't think he's lost the dressing room. Not yet. But I must admit, I am struggling to see what style we are trying to play as such.
But
are we trying to be more pragmatic? Are we trying to be more attacking? Are we trying to be counter-attacking? Or are we just relying on set pieces? I mean, if we can't make nothing happen, can't create our own chances, at least put the pressure up front. And you can do this with 3 at the back. If anything, my opinion, you can be more pressing when you've got 3 at the back because you've actually got your ass covered at the back. Yeah, that's how I see that one. And you can even leave Paulinho dropping deep at the halfway line while your whole team's up there pressing. And you've also got a DM to cover your ass as well. And we weren't even closing them down. That was how they made the mistake out of us that got us the goal, because they pressed. We made 3 stupid passes off of players that shouldn't really, and they got the goal out of it. And lo and behold, if they would have had their shooting boots on today, could have won that 5-6-0 all day long, and that was the positive bit of the game. But we weren't even pressing them. When the goalkeeper was up there on his own, Moane is running from the other side of the pitch to try and get to him. And we weren't even closing them down. So I get what you're saying. What sort of style are we actually trying to play here? I mean, what do you think?
Because when I hear stupidity, and I'm not going to mention names, but when I hear stupidity saying that he deserves a medal, he's working with miracles, I'm asking a million times that question. What is his style of play? What is he trying to achieve? What is he trying to do to score goals other than set pieces? And once again, nobody knows what are his actual tactics. Because right now, it just feels like we're trying to be defensively solid, and it's a hidden hope on a set piece.
It is looking that way a bit.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I am struggling to see what the actual... I think a lot of this is coming down to the injuries we got. I think when he's got a full team now, and I don't think Maddison's going to be back this season, bar maybe the last couple of games. And if I'm going to be honest, Maddison is a very brittle person anyway. I think we're going to be lucky if we ever see Maddison come back to the caliber of player he can be. He's still going to have the mentality for it, I think, but is he going to have the physicality for it? I don't think so. He's a very brittle player anyway. I mean, and the question said down here, I'm going to come to this one after we've spoke about this quick, Peaches, because it's something I do actually wish to talk about as well. With David saying here, Savvy is so weak and overrated. Dan, please speak on that. I will do after we spoke about this, because it is actually a point I wish to get to. And also, with Lynn, what I'm going to do is start this so I can go to it, and I'll come to your question once we've done that. Do you think that when we start getting some of the players back in there, Dragusin, Kulusevski, and a few other players start rolling in, give us a bit of depth, whatever else in that, do you think that he's then going to open up with his formations a bit more?
No.
Become a bit more playable as such? Or do you think he's just going to stick to what he's trying to do? And it does look like he's trying to get the most out of a set piece as such.
Yeah, it feels like he's trying to get the best out of his set pieces, and I'm just basing off of the evidence I have from his Brentford days. He is a pragmatic manager. He is.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
and I haven't got a problem with that.
Me neither. I don't
as long as it's played the right way.
As long as it played the right way, yes. And unless you're using the team as their best performance, because when you play pragmatic and then you put Pearl as your right back, that's when it's a bit ridiculous. But
Andy, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for the super sticker. Much appreciated.
yeah, thank you.
Go on,
But
Dietrich, what you're saying?
the last thing I was about to say, you know, when Spence and Van der Ven did not shake Frank's hand and he was looking at them, I'll tell you what it's even worse. It's his captain that didn't even shake his hand.
Hmm.
You see how bad it is? Your own captain did
I
not
don't think
even
he's
look.
quite
No, I'm
lost
saying he's like,
the
I'm not,
dressing room.
I didn't say he lost the dressing room. I'm just saying it's pretty freaking bad when it's your captain of the game and he didn't even want to look at you or even acknowledge you.
Hmm.
And even Spence raises his hand like, leave me alone.
You don't
I'm,
usually
I'm,
do that to a manager, do you?
you don't do that to a manager, and once again, if they did that to Conte or Mourinho, I promise you, Conte would take his belt and beat the crap out of them on the pitch.
Yeah, I must admit, I am struggling a bit at the moment. I mean, we are in fourth place. I mean, I don't agree with the miracles side of it. I think he's doing. You know what? I think Frankie's doing okay at Spurs. Yeah, I don't think he's doing particularly good. I don't think he's doing particularly bad. I think he's doing okay. I've actually seen us play good a couple of times. I've seen us play fucking awful, and I've seen us play all right. I think
Yeah, but okay.
overall, we are okay. Let me finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think overall we're okay, but okay is not going to be good enough for the season. I totally understand.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is where we need to see improvement. Now, if it gets to January and I don't start seeing an improvement in the play as such, when we might have a new player in there and we've got players back from injuries and that, hopefully, and I don't start seeing an improvement on the football and also certain players like Savvy not improving, then I'm going to start questioning things. Now, I'm not going to say nothing about Ange out or whatever unless we go 5-6 games and get beaten 4-0 every game. Then I'm definitely going to get maybe we did get the wrong man. But you've got to give somebody a bit of time. And I do think he needs that bit of time because he's got to get a couple of players in there. Because this transfer window was not great. If we go by caliber of player, then it was not a bad window at all for the certain player that we got. But for the players that we needed and other positions we need covered, we did not have a good transfer window. Now, with what he's got at the moment, do I feel he's getting the best out of them? No, not overall. Maybe there is that bit of luck that we're in the top 4 at the moment because I don't think anyone else is particularly doing too great either. Chelsea as well. That's why I think today hurt a little bit because Chelsea ain't looked great. And that is when I'll start questioning things if I don't start seeing improvements by, let's say, the end of January. So with that, come on, let's come to it. What a lot of people having this talk about, yeah? A lot of people are questioning things. Do I think Van der Ven is still carrying an injury? I hope not. That's all I can say with that. Savvy, I'll leave it to you first. Come on, give me your opinions on him. Dietrich?
Sorry.
Savvy, give me your opinions on Savvy.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Oh, my bad. My apologies. On Savvy, do you know what, Dan? I'm a bit underwhelmed on him because I've watched him at Leipzig. I thought he was a bloody good player over there, but you can tell like he's still a kid. And when I say kid, like physically and mentally. And
how old is he?
I think
he's what, about 23, isn't he?
No, I think he's younger. Xavier Simmons.
Yeah, I don't actually know how old he is.
He's 22. He's
22. Yeah, so close enough. 23. I mean, to me, I don't class that as a kid personally.
No, but this is why I said he's still a kid mentally and physically.
Physically, he does not look up to standards, does he?
Yeah, and you can tell that. Once again, do you know when people say you're welcome to the Premier League? Clearly, he's having that moment currently. And
I mean, we do have to give him a bit of time to settle down.
You do have to give him time.
Some players do not land on their feet. It's like what Andy says here. I don't understand the hate for Savvy. I think you're using the wrong word, mate. I think the word hate gets used way too easily. Yeah, just because you don't particularly like a player's style of play or think he's not doing well, it doesn't mean you hate him. When someone says hate, for me, that means like not far off wishing a death penalty on someone. Because like hate
Yeah.
is as powerful as love at the end of the day. You will do exactly the same things you will do for hate that you will do for love, just in the opposite caliber. But I don't think it's a hate thing. I think a lot of people are frustrated with him, but I feel he needs a bit of time to settle into the Premier League. And when it comes to January, February, then he's had about 6 months to do it. And if I'm not seeing improvement in his games, then I'm going to start questioning things.
Yes.
But I'm not going to start saying he was a waste of money just yet, because at least we're bloody playing the player. And there has been moments where you have seen that he's got skill, that he has got it. But at the moment, like the way he took it round 2 players today. I can't remember what ones they were. Went to shoot off and then just basically got shouldered off the ball. He has not got the physicality for it in any means or manner for over here, has he? But then how many number 10s do? But then I've seen people questioning, is he even a number 10? Or is he a left wing playmaker, inside forward, whatever? What actually is he? What do you think? Come on.
I'll tell you, Xavi Simon would thrive under a manager like Pochettino, like his style of play. Unfortunately, we're playing a more defensive, reserve, pragmatic style. And you can tell, like, once again, like, our bad scouting. If you bring a manager like Frank, Simmons is completely the opposite of him.
Okay.
And I feel like the only way for Simmons, for him to work physically... No, first of all, go hit some weights, buddy, because you're physically not strong enough.
A bit like Archie Gray in that aspect, yeah? And even Bergvall, you can say that.
Yes, you need to hit the gym.
And Odebert as well. But then since when do you need your winger being hench if you're going to use him for pure pace?
Wingers, they can afford not to be physically strong. But as a midfielder and defensively, you got to be strong. And for Simmons to thrive, honestly, you got to be strong enough, and you got to stop thinking that the ball's going to come to you. It's not Germany. It doesn't work like that. You got to sometimes pick up the ball as a 6. I know it's not the best thing, but as a team, like, that's how you got to, if you're not getting the touches of the ball, you got to find a way to make yourself open and receive the ball, create things, make it quick. Stop doubting yourself. Even the little, do you know that pass that he did to Van de Ven for the first goal? As a 10, you're not supposed to bring it back to your defender. That's when you're supposed to turn with the ball and counter.
And get it forward. Yes.
And get it forward. This is the little things that he needs to work on.
We do seem to pass it back a hell of a lot, don't we?
But is it a tactical or is it a personal issue? Which one is it?
Pardon me. I mean, that one I could believe it's either. I could believe they're being told to do it to hang on to the ball, but I could also see them doing it on their own, because what option do they have getting forward? I mean, Eugene, Dan, looking at the table now is silly. Well, I can only look at how we're doing at the moment, mate. I bet you'd look at the table if we was 18th and then be shouting even louder. So would I be calling you silly then for doing that? No. At the moment, you can only say where we are and what we're doing. I mean, tell you what, if you want to come on and say your piece, Eugene, you got my I'm sure you got my link on WhatsApp. Send me a message and I'll just send you a link to jump on here. It's not a problem, mate. But you can only look at the table of how we're doing at the moment. What else do you want me to compare things to at the minute, apart from last season as well? That is all I can do right now. Anyway, go on, Dietrich, what you were saying.
No, I was just saying, like, me, if I was a manager, I would always tell my wingers and my, especially my number 10, when you have the ball, I want you to attack. And Simmons in that position, I want to see you turn. I want to see you, like, trying to create. Even if you turn and you lose the ball, it's completely fine. At least you're trying. You're not going to win 100% of your duels. That just never happens. Like, let's not be silly. It doesn't happen. But you got to show intent. You got to show that you want to get better, that you're trying to improve. But if you keep it simple, you keep it shy, people are going to bully you. That's what they always say. The shy one or the nice one is always going to finish last. You got to be like a dog. You got to be like mean. You got to be a bit selfish sometimes. And that's what I like about Kudos. Sometimes
that's
you will
what
look
a good striker usually does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I like about Kudos. He saw Simmons open. He's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna take the shot, And I'm not blaming him from doing it, even though it was a poor shot.
No, I want players to do that now and again.
Yes, you got to
If
do it.
there's a better opportunity there, I want them to put it to the better
Yeah,
opportunity.
if you
But when
can
there's lack
clearly
of opportunity, I want them to take the chance and
Yeah.
just have a fucking crack at goal.
Yes,
And
take
it
the
didn't
crack.
look like many were willing to do that today.
Yes, that's what you got to do as a forward. And unfortunately, Simmons is doing the complete opposite of it. And honestly, then, like, I don't feel like this manager specifically is right for his style. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm gonna give him a year. Always
Yeah.
give players a year. But right now, specifically right now, I've been underwhelmed with Simmons.
I mean,
And I was expecting more kudos to flop than Simmons, but I got it completely wrong. Simmons should be doing a lot better.
yeah. I mean, again, for me, I've seen moments where you can see the players got something, unlike other players where I've looked at them and I just haven't seen anything at any time, bar maybe a pass. But the other thing is with him, I also do understand that certain players don't adapt as good as other players or as quick as other players. Certain players, I mean, moving to a different country and everything else isn't easy. I understand all that. But again, for me, he's got until about January, February. And if I see no improvement, I'm then honestly going to start questioning and also question the manager as well. But this is where I do think people are judging things a bit too quickly. Eugene, how we doing, fella?
I've been better. How's it going, Dan? Dietrich, pick up. I'll come in for a
Same
couple of
Spurs,
minutes.
different day.
My kid is taking a nap, so I can
Go for
I
it.
can vent.
Right,
But
go on. Say what you need to say then.
by the way, I didn't call you silly. I just said that people who are saying,
I
"Oh, we're
understood what you
third,"
were saying. It's
yeah,
all right. I
we're
understood what you
fourth.
were saying.
So, and I mean, it's since game 2, I've been saying, hey, what we're doing is not sustainable. I don't care about the table. I don't care about our stats. Open goal scored from open play, all that's irrelevant. My eyes are not lying to me. We don't have a style of play. We've been getting fortunate with own goals, deflection, set pieces against, let's be honest, lesser competition. No game is easy in the Prem. However, we've had an easier schedule, right, as opposed to what's coming up next. So to me, the table at this
With that,
point,
I do agree to an extent. Yeah, I mean, I'm the first one to say that in this league, no game is easy, and you haven't got the written right to win it as such. But I am a firm believer if there's certain games you go out there, you do actually expect your team to perform better
Right.
or win
And-
that bloody game. Yeah, and I
For
agree
sure.
with that. And the games we've got coming up now, like we've just had Chelsea, then Man U, then fucking Arsenal. Yeah,
no, it's
that's not a free games in a row that you want. Even though Man U ain't great, I think they're better than last season. That's still 3 fucking hard games back to back to back.
And to be honest, again, it's not even about, like, for me, the results, of course, are important, but given we're not Arsenal, we're not going for the league, right? So for me, I want to project. So for me, the performances are just as important. And I just see no intent from Frank. Our players are not great. We can all agree. But at least show me some intent. At least show me a style.
That's what
At
I've
least
said.
I want
That's
to
what I've said.
understand
I agree.
what he's trying to do. Against Chelsea at home, against Wolves, Villarreal, all those games, we just look shocking. And it's like, I know our front three is championship level, Barracudas, but they're not this bad. Show me something, right? So if we get outplayed, we get beat. I'm like, cool, we tried, we got beat. But the intent isn't there. Frank thinks he's still at Brentford. We're not Brentford. At home, Pelini and Bentancur. I don't care how many times or how much you can show me, Bentancur's passing stats. He's not good enough. We cannot play Bentancur and Pelini at home, especially against mid-table competition. That's not good enough. We
Yeah, but
cannot
who would
play
you
mid
play?
block and low block against most teams. That's not good enough, especially at home.
Eugene, who
So-
would you play?
I mean,
Hang
I'm
on a
asking
second.
you. I'm asking.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
I
I
would
just
go
want to bring up
three
what
back.
Mike said here.
Oh, hi, Benji.
I think you're right, Mike. How you doing, mate? Opal's good for you out there in Poland. What I'm seeing now, coupled with the shit show under Ange, makes me want to take a break from football. I'm willing to give Frank time, but he will lose the fan base in no time playing like that at home. I can't really make him wrong on what he's saying there. Go on, Dietrich, carry on what you're saying. Sorry, mate. I just wanted to read.
No, I was just saying to Eugene. Sure, Bentancur. Yeah, he's not the best, but who are you going to play at the 8?
So
I think
my point is,
Bentancur
like,
has looked pretty good this season overall.
I think he's
he's
looked
been-
decent. In my
But
Yeah,
opinion,
I
he's
think
not-
Paulinho brings out the better player of him. If I'm going to be
I
honest,
disagree. He's too, like, at home again, especially for example against lesser competition, Bentancur and Paulinho at home. It's too safe. Bentancur, he does not push the ball. He's not a threat in the final third. He does not like make any through balls. He's passing.
Well, he
he's
does
passing
actually.
side to
If you
side and
actually look at
backwards.
his stats, he actually passes the ball forward more than any other
and he
player we
scored
got.
Yeah, but my eyes are not
he
lying to me.
scored a goal
Like,
this
Ben,
year.
Yeah, no, well, your eyes must lie to you in that. If the stats
No,
say that
Eugene,
he
I
passes
disagree.
it forward, if the stats officially say he passes the ball forward more than any other player, then that is
But
that.
what's the
No, it's not
difference? Like,
buts.
has he made
Well,
a through
Well,
a
I
through
don't know.
ball?
I'll tell you. Well, Eugene, I'll tell you what I do next time they do it. Then I'll tell them to start saying whether it was a 4-yard pass or a 33-yard
And
pass.
to
The
be
fact
fair-
is, he does get the ball forward more than the rest of the players. You look at Bergvall; he don't pass the ball forward. He runs. the ball
Star
forward,
doesn't.
and that's all he does. Sarr don't do it. Paulinho don't do it. That's not his bloody job where he does that, yeah. And look who else we got in midfield and that. They don't do it. He is actually, if anything, a more offensive type of player, if you want to put it like that, because he's a deep lying playmaker. He always did at Juventus do a direct ball forward and then leave it to the rest.
But look,
But
a
he's
question
not
for you
an
guys.
attacking minded player. I'll agree with that much.
But look, just a question. Maybe again, it's my eyes. Maybe I'm missing something. But the gap between Xavi at the 10 and the 8 is huge. Like, a lot of when I was on the Ashes channel, he was doing the breakdown. Bentancur is parked right next to our center backs.
Yeah,
He's
but that's
playing
the
basically
formation.
as a center back. Well, exactly. So the gap in the midfield is huge.
Yeah, but
And
that's
that's
not
why Xavi
Bentancur's
sometimes
fault.
looks lost. We don't have an 8 who can. So Brookval is maybe, obviously he's not a passer, a great passer, but at least he's brave on the ball. He pushes the ball. When Bentancur is sparked by our center backs,
Eugene,
and
sorry,
Paulinho
let me stop
has
you
a
there a
push-
second.
Sorry, guys, I have to go.
Yeah, yeah.
I really have to go.
All right, Dietrich,
Sorry, I'm
take
on
care of
the
I'll
yourself,
watch-
mate, and I'll speak to you soon.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Hey, Dietrich.
All right.
See you, man.
So, Dietrich, with that, what good is your man pressing the ball forward when he loses the ball 99% of the time?
I
What good is it?
agree. I'm not arguing that. I'm not saying, but I'm
Okay,
just saying
I was just
tactically,
okay.
it's not even about, I know the Bentancur can do it because we've seen him do it in the past. So it has to be, I'm assuming that Frank tells him,
Can
hey,
be.
play it safe. I'm assuming it's the tactics. But the gap between where Bentancur is and where Xavi is huge. And we don't have anybody in the midfield who can control the tempo and control the games. We're too defensive. Against Chelsea, makes sense. I'm not saying against Chelsea play Paulinho and Bentancur, but against lesser teams, against the Wolves at home, to me, that's not good enough.
I mean, today, I think we could have squeezed off 3-4-2-1 in there today, personally. If you got to stick Paulinho as the defender, which I think we have seen he's more than capable of doing, and that we know Chelsea were going to, personally, I think they knew Chelsea were going to come at us because they're always going to win. The problem I think Frank has got here is just the fact that no matter what he's going to do, he's going to piss off half that fan base, yeah? Because half of this fan base is going to be like wanting to see things yesterday. Part of this fan base is going to be, I don't want to see pragmatic football at Spurs. Spurs don't play that way. It isn't the fucking Spurs mentality. Will someone please do tell me the fucking Spurs mentality at play football? We haven't had a set way to play football for a long time. That's what is the Spurs way as such. Was it Ange's way? Well, it weren't fucking very good then either, was it? And no matter what he does at the moment, he's going to cop it in the neck off at least half the fan base. I think he's in a bit of a catch-22. Ben, how we doing, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. How you boys doing? Okay.
Same Spurs, different day at the minute, just at this moment in time. I mean, today, on the game today, what do you think on that today? I mean, apart from a total fucking shambles, I think we all know that much, but come on, your side of it.
Yeah, mate. Look, do you know what? I just want to say this, Eugene. I really like you, mate. Honestly, you say it how you see it, and I genuinely like. I know people tend to disagree with you. Some of the panelists, you see through all the bullshit, mate, and I can absolutely appreciate that. As for the game today, I ain't seen much different to what I've been seeing. If I'm brutally honest with you, I said from I don't know, game 4, game 5, we're getting lucky. And I was laughed out of the room for saying it. And I said, further down the season, you're going to start seeing it more and more. You know, when teams start to pick up pace, you're going to see it a lot more and worse things are going to happen. Laughed out of the room for it. It's a joke. But look, as for today, shocking, lack of effort, lack of cohesion, non-existent forward play, and I'm not surprised. Do you know what it is? Do you know what I think makes the situation worse? When we brought in players like Kudus and Xavi, we thought as Spurs fans, boom, there are our players that are going to unlock defences. What we didn't take into account is the fact that these players are going to need time to settle, time to adjust. And what doesn't help is we've not had a striker to play into. We've had shit Charlison. And it's unfortunate because look, we've got
this is what only Mwane's second start, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate because we've got him, and the issue with that poor guy is he's been injured from pretty much day dot. So you know, there's been no sort of
They did say it was a dead leg, but I struggle to think was it just a fucking dead leg? But I don't know. But yeah, he has been injured. Anyway, Ben, go on, carry on.
Ben, to your point, I've always thought it was a striker as well. But now when I look at our games, I think we need a top 8 just as much, if not more, because strikers get no service. The Richarlison is terrible. I think he's my most despised player since I've been a Spurs fan. I cannot stand him. However,
I think he's fucking awful.
Lack of a top 8 who can control the game and the tempo is killing us. And Frank likes to play the balls wide for some reason, not through the middle. So it all goes to Kudus. And then
whereas I think our strength would be more down the middle as such.
Exactly, but it's just not working for us. It's so
but do you know what's not helping that fact, Eugene? Do you know what's not helping that fact? A little man called Xavi. If you watch that guy during the games, listen, what Enzo at Charles, I said this to my boy today. My boy was watching the game with me, and he said, "Oh, Enzo's doing well." Enzo, when he first came to Chelsea, was fucking shocking. We all laughed at the fact that they paid 120 million, didn't we? We were like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And look at him now. He's flying. And the same thing will happen with Xavi. I've got no doubt. But if you watch that man during the game, you will see a couple of major problems. His movement in order to receive a pass is fucking shocking. Shocking. It's almost like he hides behind players. It's madness. And the only time he makes himself available seems to be on the left when it's not at a crucial moment. You know, and whenever he does receive it in a crucial moment, he fucks it up. And I don't want to say that because obviously, look, listen, he's just come to the club. He's going to need time.
He does.
At the end of the day, right, for me, you've got to assume that he needs time because throughout his whole career, he's been weak and tiny. And that's not a good thing. That's not good characteristics to have coming into the Premier League.
And that's my concern.
This is it. So what I'm hoping for... Go on.
No, I'm saying that's like when I was saying, people say, well, but other players, look, for the Prem, if you're like David Silva or the Bernardo Silva, they're small, but they're world-class players. But in the Prem, to be successful, you need to be strong and you need to be pacey. So my concern is, I really hope that he works out, but he's not the world-class level yet. And he's too small and too weak. Like today we saw he was getting bullied off the ball every single time. So that's
I mean,
my
the
concern.
other thing I noticed with Savvy today, I mean, one thing you can definitely say with a fella, he ain't got the caliber. Yeah, he's not exactly built, is he? And he got around 2 Chelsea players, like I said earlier. I can't remember what ones they were, quite nicely. And then as soon as he went to tear off, he got shouldered and went flying.
Yep, exactly.
He isn't exactly built for it. And this is one thing that a lot of people, me included, have said about Archie Gray, have said about Bergvall, Odebert, Tell, haven't got the physicality. And I'm not going to turn around and now say, yeah, but it's Savvy, it's all right. No, he hasn't got the physicality either. And it definitely does show. So if them 4 are going to get a bit of a, like said, they ain't got the physicality, well, neither has Savvy got the physicality. Or are we just playing him totally the wrong way as such? Wingers don't usually need to be hench. I mean, Son weren't hench as such, yeah? But Savvy, he does seem physically a lot to be desired, if I'm going to be honest. What do we actually want him to do? What does Frank want him to do? What actually is his job? Why did we get him? Did we get him as a 10 to basically be as the playmaker, to sort of take Maddison's role sort of thing? Did we get him to be the out wide playmaker or inverted forward, whatever? What did we get him for? I don't even think he actually knows right now at the moment. Would he actually be better off sitting in the middle as a sitting in the middle as sort of like a pressing forward eight, because he's definitely no defensive-minded player sort of thing, like a Modric style of player sort of thing, to play alongside Paulinho and maybe control the middle as such the best he can to then get it up to whoever. What is his job at Spurs? Because I've seen him in about 3 different roles now.
I don't know about Tottenham. But if you watch him over his career, that number 10 spot suits him beautifully. You know, he's got that tiki-taka passing. He likes to through those little narrow balls. He likes to work off people. He is capable of doing it. We've seen it. But the issue is right now, I think he's having a real tough time adapting. And that can make all the difference. And the worst thing is, not only has he got to adapt, but now he's lost confidence. And you can see that a million miles away. And when you're trying to adapt to a new league, and make no mistake, fellas, you can tell me all the fucking stats you want. The Premier League is the hardest league in the world to play in. When you're trying to do that and you're losing confidence, it's not good.
And also our system, it doesn't fit him. Like you can tell he likes to play the 1-2s, right? He likes to play those quick balls. And we do the opposite of that. He has nobody to play off of. Kudus, maybe, but Xavi drifts left. And on the left-hand side, we have nobody. So those 1-2s that he's looking for, they're just not there. And he just looks lost.
Do you think some of it comes down to that he just hasn't got the caliber of player to play how he wants to play? Is that what you're saying?
It's everything, I think. It's a complete package. Like, I think it's tactics.
Like,
it's
basically, you can only be so good yourself. But if you rely on a lot of doing 1-2s with someone and everything else and that to get the best out of your own game to get to do what you want to do, then you need somebody who can do that as such.
Yeah.
Is that what you're basically saying? That he hasn't got the caliber of player around him to play how he wants to play?
I mean, that's a part of it, right? But like, I think a lot of it is that. So Frank,
I think that's a fair point.
I don't think that stops a player from making the effort to do so.
No, I'm not talking about effort.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about effort, but I think there is a few points to this one. But if that's right in what you're saying, Eugene, I do think that is actually a fair point. I mean,
both things are true. Then I think both things are true, right? He's weak on the ball and he gets lost. However, a lot of it is the tactics as well. He's just not used to playing the way that we're playing, and that's maybe why he gets lost. However, he is still weak on the ball. He's still not pacey enough, so that's also an issue. So both things in my mind are true.
Do any of you watch the training videos?
No, I don't. I can't say.
Right. So I can tell you for a fact, right, in the training. So when people say it might be the way we play, I can tell you for a fact, when I've watched the training videos, especially the first couple where Xavi was there, you are, and again, you know, look, listen, I don't know if this is ironclad in game, but at least in training, this is what I saw. You are hearing Frank scream, give it to Xavi, create, do something. So I do think his role in that team is to be fed and then feed people. So look, for me, I don't think we're going to see the best out of Xavi for at least another year, if I'm brutally honest with you. At least because I'm hoping he goes away in the off season, buffs himself up, because loads of players have done this. Jesus, Ronaldo's done it, Bale did it. I'm hoping he goes away, works on himself a bit, buffs up, and comes back stronger. I mean, all I know is right now I am watching a player with zero confidence. And
no, for sure, I agree. But I have a question for you, if you don't mind. And I missed the first half of your stream or the first part, but we always talk, or at least you talk about the tactics as well. Why doesn't Frank go to what he played against the PSG? Like, I've been asking every single game, just go to what worked against PSG. Is it going to work? Maybe, maybe not, but at least try something different. At least I give him credit, last 2 games, he tried a bit, some tweaks, but just go with what you did against PSG, because I think that will suit us best. Why do you guys think he hasn't gotten back to that? It makes no sense to me.
Eugene, do you know what, Eugene?
Carry this on. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Eugene, it's funny, mate. I thought we were getting Mr. Adaptable when
that's
when
exactly
Frank
that's my point.
Do you know teams are already starting to figure us out? For instance, Frank's tactic with the long throw-in. Do you know what I saw today? Maresca figured him out. Maresca put 3 players up the pitch just before the halfway line, because he knew in all likeliness that long throw was going to amount to nothing, and he was going to catch us on the counter, and that was exactly what they did.
And
so,
Chelsea is susceptible to long throws, and Chelsea's defending has been shocking. Sunderland opened them up for fun. Chelsea's back two is like almost is as bad as our front three. They're that bad.
Defense and
And we
goalkeeper
couldn't
aren't
do
their
anything.
strong point, is it? And I must admit, their goalkeeper had a very respectable game today in the way he controlled his box, came out, caught the ball without fail, and everything else. And I think their goalkeeper is pretty poor. I mean, I think Lynn makes a good point here. In my humble opinion, the players Frank had at Brentford, his players were very physical. Very true. And Frank is trying to play these less physical players to try and do the same thing, and they are not physical. I can see that side of what's being said there. I mean, we've got Paulina in midfield, physical enough. I mean, Bentancur, I think he's physical enough when you need him to be, but in a different sort of way. But Harry didn't get a fucking red card today. That was bloody lucky, in my opinion. There was no malice in it, nothing intended. But another day that could have easily been a red card.
Yep.
We do know how this system seems to work.
But then that goes.
Maybe that could be part of the reason. But I still think. I mean, I haven't been able to ask you two. I mean, it was only me and Dietrich's talking. I don't think nothing's changed from last season or the season before that. I think we've got better players in certain positions. But I still don't think we have a team with the caliber of playing a 4-2-3-1. I still think this team is screaming for a 5-2-2-1, 3-4-2-1, whatever way you want me to put it. That is my opinion on it. But I understand we have also got subs. We've also got injuries, and we get one injury at the back if we're playing that way. We've got to totally transform it as such. I do understand all this, but I still don't think this team is made to play an attacking style of football. It is best at its counter-attack, same as it was last season and the season before that. When I've seen us play more of a counter-attacking role, we look more of a complete team, in my opinion.
I agree, and it goes to what Benji was saying a minute ago when you stepped out, is we were all told that Frank is a tactician, that he will adapt and adjust to every team that we're facing. So if we can see that, based on the comment before, that we're not as physical as Brentford than he's used to, that the system is not working, my expectation would be, unlike Ange, who was stubborn, that Frank would adapt. And I just haven't seen enough adaptation to what our strengths are versus what other teams' weaknesses are. It just seems like he hasn't adapted enough for me.
I mean, I agree with what Scott says here. I wouldn't say he's adapted a ton. I won't go with that one. I think that's an exaggeration. But I do think we have seen him adapt to certain things. Like that last game we played against Everton, you can definitely say he adapted to the game there, yeah? And whether we got it through set pieces, whether we got it through whatever, at the end of the day, we won the game. So that's all that fucking matters to me, yeah? So I do see an adaptation, like him adapting to certain things and that.
Was that adapting, or was it a piss poor Everton, Dan?
No, I don't think that was a piss poor Everton. Yeah, their finishing weren't great, but I don't think they were poor last week. I don't think they were terrible. I don't think we were great either. I don't think either team was special as such. I think we went and got the job done. We got a dirty job done, basically. And 3-0, you could say that was it made the game look better in our favour than the game we actually had, if you see where I'm coming from. We did not win that game 3-0, even though we won it 3-0. Do you see where I'm coming from?
100,000,000%.
We did not run that game like a 3-0 game as such, yeah?
Our issues were still visible, right? It was a great win, but still set piece goals. And the last goal, I mean, it doesn't count for me, I mean, right? Even though it counts as open play goal. So even though we won, which is a great win, it was, again, set piece goals, right? And some fortune. So same issues persist. And yes, I agree with you. He did try to tweak certain things, but it's not enough for me. And again, maybe it's a gradual process. Maybe as we get further in the season, he'll tweak things more. But if it's something that's so obvious to us, it should be definitely obvious to Frank.
Do you guys think this comes down to certain players just not doing their job? So look, listen, what I mean by that is you could call out names like Vicario, for the most part, doing his job. Van der Ven, for the most part, doing his job. In fact, I say for the most part, he's been really good. Romero, for the most part, doing his job. Paulinho, doing his job. Kudus, doing his job. Aside from them, I mean, Bentancur's been all right as well, but aside from them...
I think Bentancur's been pretty good this season. I think, look, the problem with it for me is when it comes out of the back, out of our back four or out of our back five, whatever way you want to put it, it starts getting very fucking limited. I mean, Paulinho there, I think he's been brilliant since he came to us. Bentancur, I think he definitely brings the better out of Bentancur, without a doubt. I think them two link up pretty well. But neither of them are exactly attacking-minded players. And then Kudus, yes, been very good for us on the right, but then at times also looked very, no matter how good he's been, he couldn't do anything with it because he's had 3 or 4 people on him at a time, sort of thing, 2 to 3 people on him. And then after that, who the fuck do we put up front? Because it is just shit all the way. And Mwane, we haven't seen enough of him yet. We're knowing, let's say the next 5 games. And then out on the left, go stick Mickey Mouse out there for all I care. That's the potential player we got there. And then as a number 10, whether you go and stick Bergvall there, Sarr there, whoever, it has not got what it needs to play a 4-2-3-1 properly, in my opinion. Even when we've got all of our players back, I still don't think this team's got a 4-2-3-1 in it. I honestly don't.
Dan, do you know what? It just comes back to this fact. You were right. You were right all along. Even when I disagreed with you, you was right. At the end of the day, you've got to play the players in the positions that suit them best, in the formation that suits them best. And we've seen the best out. So a lot of people are saying, oh, our players aren't good enough. They were the same players that nearly beat PSG. They were the same players that smashed Manchester City. So my point being is, if Frank is this tactician, if Frank is this adaptable manager, surely he must see exactly what you're saying, Dan, and exactly what he did against PSG, exactly what he did against Man City, and play that 3 or 5 back, whatever you want to call it, and use the players in the right way. Because at the end of the day, you can call these players out all you want, but they were the same players that nearly did PSG and did Man City, and we were all raving.
Look, with that, I feel one of the problems we still have at Spurs, yeah, and this is a problem I think we've had since we had Ange, bar a game or two, yeah. Actually, I'll say before Ange even, we have not got a set of players that force a team to play our way, how we want them to play as such. However Spurs play, however we go on there and mean to play, to an extent it's irrelevant. Because we will only play the way the other team makes us play. So when you've got a team like City coming at you all guns blazing, like they do every time, we end up playing a very counter-attacking style of football. And it works. Majority of the time, when a team comes at us and throws it at us, and we have to play a more counter-attacking style of football, it works. Now, I understand there's going to be certain games where a team ain't going to come as you at hard. I get that. People say you can't go and do this at home against smaller teams, whatever else, and that because they just sit back. I don't necessarily agree with that because some of these small teams that are going to be fighting for relegation, okay, a point can get you something, but too many draws can also screw your season up as well, and they desperately need them points as well. I feel Spurs are a very what's the way to describe it? We're very
shit.
No, you can say that's it. Jimmy's just put it perfectly here. We're reactive, Dan, not a proactive. Yes, bang on, mate. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. We will play the way the other team makes us play. We don't make them play that way or whatever way they play. 9 times out of 10. Yeah, now and again, we go on there, seem to get it right and put it on there. But a majority of the time with Spurs, it's how that team lets us play, how they make us play. And we always, bar maybe 1 or 2, look better when we play counter-attacking football.
But then isn't that on Thomas Frank? Because to my knowledge, here was a manager that tailor-made game plans to each individual team that we come up against. Is that not on him?
What part is not on him? Sorry, I didn't hear everything you said there.
No. The fact that Thomas Frank is supposed to tailor-make game plans to every single team that we play against.
I do feel that you have to adapt to every game you play. Now, the thing is, when you say adapt, people seem to think adapt means you have to change fucking everything. No, it doesn't. Yeah. For me, adapting, yeah, sometimes you change your whole formation. I dig that. Yeah. Some teams you have to do that. Yeah. But the the example I always use, probably not the best one to use now because he's not up to what he was. But when you was playing someone like a Liverpool, when you had a Salah coming that right, you knew you had to double up on that man, or you knew you had to adapt because they've got a good right winger, or you know you got to change it a bit more and be a bit more pragmatic or a bit more assertive, whatever else, because of certain players they got. I totally understand that. And I do think we have seen adaptation in games from him, like that Everton game. I think a lot of us were like, what the fucking formation is he actually playing here? And I think it took some people sussed it quicker than others. I think a few of us were just like, what formation, what are we actually doing here? And I must admit, it took me about 10, 15 minutes to get the idea of it, where it actually turned out that he was almost playing two formations in one, was how I saw it as such. And I'll stick to what I'm saying. I just still think nothing has changed in this team at all in the aspect of how it is best at playing. And that is a counter-attacking direct ball. Still, how are we doing? Enjoy the game?
Just give me 1 minute and I'll speak.
No problem, mate.
So then, like with, everybody agrees Ange, shit manager, this and that, but at least with Ange, we all knew what he wanted to do. Whether it worked or not, whether the players were good enough, that's a different discussion. My issue is that I'm confused. I just don't know what we're trying to do. And on the pitch, it seems like the players are confused as well. And you cannot tell me that our players are worse than Sunderland players or like other teams' players who, went at Chelsea, right? Just having XG of 0.05. And again, it's not just an isolated game. Every
That's
single
fucking awful.
90% of games this season, bar Burnley and City, we've seen the same issues, right? Again. Just players look confused. They don't know where to be, what to do, just as we talked about with Xavi, right? And it's like, so what are we doing? Is Frank asking him to do too much in training or not enough? Or like, what's the plan? I want to get behind the plan. I want to get behind the playing style. But it's just, I don't know what I'm watching. I just don't know what Frank is trying to implement. Is he adapting every game? No. Does he have a certain style of play? No. What are we doing? What are we watching? And honestly, I think the players are confused as well because there's no cohesion. They have no idea where they're supposed to be on the pitch. It's a mess to me, and it's just I have no idea what's going on and why we're in this situation right now.
Well, the question we've been asked here is like off Lynn. She asked it earlier. I think it's actually a pretty solid question. That's why I've kept it up on it, basically. Do you think that even if you get the players in January, then summer, do you think that Frank is at the level you require to compete on all fronts? I think that's a fair question.
I'm starting to doubt it.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, what do you two think on that? Whoever wants to take it.
I mean, look, listen, for me, I still think the notion of competing on all fronts is fucking ridiculous anyway. I think a team like Spurs, with the lack of decent depth that we've got, shouldn't be taking a cup, and this is going to sound really arrogant, a cup like the Carabao Cup fucking seriously. I'm sorry. I was furious when I saw Paulinho playing in that game. Does he have the experience? I mean, look, listen, he did so well with Brentford, so well, but he is in a different pool now, and he will have to learn and adapt, along with the rest of us. But I just feel with Frank, is he the right man? I'd like to think he is. And again, look, listen, at the end of the day, he needs time. He does need time. We're all sitting here freaking out, and I'm one of them. I watch these games and I'm fucking depressed. It's horrendous, most of these games. A lot of luck is involved. But, the guy's been in charge for what, 13, 14 games now? We're not going to see anything from this guy for at least another year.
You're not going to see a big change in things in 5 minutes.
And maybe he's come in and he's looked at these players. Maybe this is the reason why he's continuing with the 4-2-3-1. Sorry, is because he might have looked at these players and thought they're not good enough to adapt to systems that I want to play. So maybe that's why we're not doing things the way that we would expect him to do.
And sorry. Before Style goes, I'm petty, so I just want to get a dig in. On Spurs 5 and other channels, when there were polls about whether we should rest players for Newcastle or for Chelsea, and everybody went, oh, let's rest players for Newcastle because the Chelsea game is more important. And we've seen, we threw away the cup when he benched our 4 best players or 3 best players. So it seems like the players haven't had enough rest for Chelsea either. So we threw away our chance at a cup, and now we also got hammered by Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying I'll be petty a bit, but for all those saying, oh, let's rest for Newcastle, it didn't happen like they all thought.
It didn't exactly work out, did it? Is what you're
Exactly.
saying.
So
All right. Then still, how are we doing? On the recovery zone?
I'm okay now. I'm good. Recovery-wise. Evening, Dan, Benny
Evening.
Boy, Eugene.
Hello, mate.
Hope everyone's good in the chat. So. Quick question for everyone. You've got 10 seconds. You're not allowed to use Google. Name me 3 players that play for Sunderland. Go.
Of course. Go on. I'll step out of that one. I'm
Xhaka.
good at naming players.
Xhaka, that French right back who can also play centre back. No,
Okay, 10 seconds are up.
I know them.
10 seconds are up. 10 seconds are up. Now, the reason I asked you that question is because nobody can answer that question. Not even in the chat. Nobody. Why? Because they don't have many good players. They don't have any players that we know about. Otherwise, we would know their names. Yet they go to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea 2-1. Nobody is going to tell me Sunderland is better than Tottenham Hotspur. If you were to ask any fan, name 3 players that play for Tottenham, Vicario, Van der Ven, Romero, Van der Ven, Maddison, Slanky, no one can do it for Sunderland because we are a bigger club. We've got better players. We're a better squad. So I think we need to really be honest about this whole, what about the squad? The squad. There's only so many times we can say the squad is the excuse when we're seeing weaker squads beating a team like Chelsea. We were at home. Sunderland went away to Stamford Bridge. We were at home and they absolutely ran riot on us. 1 shot on target. Or was it 2 shots on target? XG of tiny
0.5
percentages.
0.05.
Take Vicario out of the game today. It's 4-5-0 Chelsea.
We had 3 shots today with 1 on target.
How many did they have?
They had 15 with 9 on target and clear-cut chances. They had 6. We had 0. About the only thing that we got the better of, slightly got the better of tackles, 1 on the corner, and they had more possession as well.
So we had more yellow cards than big chances created.
We got dominated. Simple as that.
You can blame the players, and we can definitely blame the attackers. They're shit. Okay. Every week, every show, every channel, Richarlison, Tell, Odebert, John, normal conversation. So how is it a team like Sunderland that don't have good players or players that we know can go away to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea and we can't even show up? For me, it's very, very simple what's happening here right now. Yes, the attack is wank. Absolute rubbish.
Totally.
But that is not an excuse for the midfield to collapse and for the defence to be cut open, sliced open, dissected the way it was. They aren't bad players. That is the way we're set up and our inability to adapt in the game. Frank is the coach. We need a coach. He's really good at adapting. Coach, adapt. Where was it? Right? I'm not blaming it all on Frank because he's got the worst attack. He's got the worst attack any Spurs manager has had in about 20 years. It's awful. So
yeah, it is one of the worst we've had.
Dan, it's shocking, man.
But it's the
So
intent. It's the
so-
intent
so-
from Frank.
Eugene, we went to Newcastle,
Yep.
and the intent was there. We tried to create, we
Right.
tried to score. The attackers let us down because they're rubbish. But at least we come out of that game saying, do you know what? We could have got something, man. If we had Harry Kane in the squad, if we had a fit Maddison, if we could have, should have, would have, if Kinski wasn't in goal. You can't say jack shit today. You can't say
You could have had Messi up there. You could have had Messi and Ronaldo up there today, and it still weren't going in the fucking back of the net.
Exactly. You can't say nothing. We lost today
you're right.
because we did this whole let's rotate midweek and focus on Chelsea. That completely backfired. You're out the cup and you've just lost our second biggest game of the season.
Yep.
And we didn't just lose. Mate, that's one of the worst home games of football I've ever seen at Spurs. And we've seen some stinkers, right? We've seen some shockers. That was shocking. And I said this on the Spurs 5 on Monday, when we did our Monday show. I said, if it was me, I'd go strong against Newcastle because it's the easiest cup I think we can win, or the only cup I think we can win. I would go strong against Chelsea, and I would rotate against Copenhagen because we're not going to win the Champions League. And out of all those 3 games, that's the easiest one. Rotate for that game, but go strong against Newcastle. He didn't. We lost. So now all his eggs are in the basket against Chelsea. And then Sean said to me, so let me ask you a question. If we lose to Chelsea, do you think the fans are going to lose it? I said, it depends how we lose. If we lose 2-1, but we gave it a go, we hit the crossbar, goalie made wonder saves, we had a red card against us, then no, fans won't lose it. But if we lose and we stink, yeah, the fans will lose it. And what did they do at the end of the game? They booed. That whole stadium booed. Mickey van der Ven and Spence didn't want to shake the manager's hands. Don't touch me.
Straight off.
Right? Don't touch me. Frank, in his press conference afterwards, was asked about that incident, and he said, that's the smallest issue we've got right now, meaning there's bigger issues. So, guys, I've been here before. I've seen this story play out 1,000 times. And slowly, people are going to begin to realize, do you know what? Still was saying this. He was actually saying this. If Frank doesn't adapt at home, takes the shackles off a bit, be a bit more adventurous, the fans will turn against him, and you're going to see how quickly it turns. And it will turn quick. We turned against Poch, Conte. We turned against Mourinho, Ange. We turned against him. We turn so quick.
Yes.
And we can't have a situation where we lose at home every week, or we play badly and we just get a draw, because that's what the fans pay the money for. The season tickets are for the home games, not the away games. And what they're being served up right now is shit. People are paying money for that, and that's why they're going to turn. And I'll say one last thing, Dan. I'll say one last thing, right? I don't blame Frank for the attack. I don't. But when we're solid, we're hard to beat, and we play not to lose, and I see that completely goes against what I'm being told, because that was easy to beat. That was easy to get into. And that was, Frank...
We should have lost that 5-0. Easy.
Dan, he needs to stop going into every single game playing not to lose. We only started attacking after we were 1-0 down at Newcastle, by the way. It was reactionary football.
No, it's true. We are reactionary.
Dan, he needs to take a bit of risk because he's going to lose the fans. In my opinion, just try it. If it doesn't work, fine. At least you tried it. Go to a back three. Play Porro high up the pitch where he's good. Play Dogi as the attacking fullback. Play with Benton Cornpalinia in the 2, protecting the back 3. Go with 2 number 10s, Simmons and Kudus, and go with a striker Moani. If it works and we're creating more, we're getting more shots on target, we can say, do you know what? Well done, Frank. You adapted. But if he keeps doing what he's doing now, playing not to lose, he only keeps the fans on side if he doesn't lose.
Yes.
Mate, lost to Villa, lost to Newcastle, lost. He's losing every week now. He has to change it. I give him time to change it. But if if we don't see an uplift in the next month, I'm telling you guys, I've been a fan of this club too long. I know how it goes.
I agree.
They will turn on it. So
look,
by the way,
I
sorry,
think one
boys,
of the
I gotta
problems
run. Dan,
all right, see you later, Eugene. Take care.
good talking to you guys.
Cheers,
I mean,
everybody.
I said this earlier still, yeah. And one of the problems we definitely have at Spurs with the fans is a lot of fans seem to think there is a Spurs way to play football, yeah. A lot of fans don't like playing free at the back, think it's pragmatic, think it's negative, whatever else. No, actually, if you play it the right way, free at the back, you can play very attacking if you play it the right way. And winning in a pragmatic way, people will keep their mouth shut to a certain extent. Spurs supporters especially will still moan over it as long as you're winning the games. But when you're coming out of games like that, and it looks like you're not even going in there for the win, that you went there for the draw as such, then you're going to start seeing problems. And the thing I said just before you came on still is one thing you can definitely see with Spurs, and we've been like it since Ange, if not since we had, like, just before we had Ange. We are a reactionary team. And what I mean by that is we don't tell teams how they're going to play football. They basically tell us how we're going to play football. It's how they come at us, and then we make the decision on whether we're playing counter or whatever. One thing we have not got is a team with capability to boss a game in to the extent of we are going to attack you and bombard you left, right, and centre. Up front, we are absolute dog shit. Great all over it, yeah? But for me, nothing has changed in this team. We've got better players in certain positions that we already had covered, yeah? So we got Kudus on the right, we got Paulina in the middle, etc. and that, yeah? Right. But this team is still not made for a 4-2-3-1. Still, I've been saying it for 2 years now, yeah? And it took a year before people started listening to me with Ange. I don't think nothing's changed. Okay, with the players we got at the moment, it's not so easy to pull it off, but you could still definitely pull this formation out. I still think this team's got a 5-2-2-1, 3-4-2-1 written all over it. Hands down. And I think that is how you see the best.
I think you've seen the evidence of PSG and Man City. You've seen the evidence.
But that's how, when a team makes us play like that, yeah? But if we're going to play that way, and yes, at the moment, we've got no width on the left. Out on the right, do you know what? We might as well not even have width out on the right, because Kudus, he might have a good game or two, but he finds it very hard to make an impact in a game when he's got 3 people on him. This team we are not playing Porro to what he is good at. This is why he gets cooked every fucking game, because he is a shit defender and a very good wing back going forward. And okay, he blocks a ball here and there. Well fucking done. He's not a defensive player. We've got Spence on the left. Okay, more defensive. So what? If you're going to do that, at least let Porro get forward and then bring it to 3 at the back when he gets forward to have Spence cover it on the left in the middle. I still think this team is screaming for a 3 at the back using wing backs, because we have not got the fucking wingers to play out wide.
Well,
I don't think nothing's changed, mate.
Why can't we do both? Why can't we, when it's not working down the middle, change it to go wide? When it's not working wide, go more middle. Why can't we adapt in between those 2 ways? We seem so hell-bent on one way of playing. And whenever I bring it up with Lubo and Johnny and others, give Frank time. I am giving him time. I'm just questioning why he's not adapting it. Because at Brentford, he adapted. Why is he now at Spurs? He's not adapting. And
that's why we wanted him, because he was an adaptable coach, wasn't it?
This is the argument. And then
that's what I've always said.
Well, the response to that you get is he wants to make us hard to beat first. Mate, we're losing every week. What's hard to beat here? This isn't hard to beat. We're not scoring, and now we can't defend. The one thing that he was clinging on to was we're hard to beat. Mate, Chelsea cut through us like a knife through butter. It was like chocolate melting. I was watching it saying, mate, this is Ange ball. Did you see in the first half playing it out from the back? Their pressing game was so good. Why are we still trying to play it out from the back when they're pressing so good? Go over
and we weren't pressing them.
And then, of course, they score from that. That's exactly what Ange did. Don't go long. Play it out from the back. Play it out from the back. But the thing is, there's a lot of fans too scared to say it because it's Frank. And Frank is the GOAT. He's God. He's the second coming of Jesus. He is the Holy One. He is Allah. He is he is the Pope. Mate, he's a manager. You can question what is going on at your club.
Mm-hmm.
If any other manager was playing it out from the back when the opposition was pressing us so aggressively, fans would be saying, oh, this manager, man. Oh, this manager. Why is it different now? You can see that playing out from the back isn't working. Just tell your players, ping it over the top into the wide areas. They've committed everyone forward, then exploit the space. But we didn't. And eventually, Chelsea, they got us and they got their
They
goal.
pressed it out of us. Yeah, every time they had the ball, it was down to Moane or whatever to basically run him down on his own from being halfway up the other end of the pitch. We didn't press them in any means or manner.
Look, I'm not Frank out because I said I'll give him a year. He deserves a year. He deserves a year to understand how shit it is here. He needs a year to understand how to get better out of his players.
Things ain't going to change in 5 minutes. We know that.
Yeah. He needs time to develop some players, right? The whole point of him being a coach is that he can develop some players. And for me, I will give him that time. But when I see performances like this, and I see him effectively surrendering the Carabao Cup because the league's more important and then we lose both, mate, I'm going to call it out because if it was any other manager, he gets called out. No manager is immune. No manager.
I agree.
To adapt it, to show us he can develop some players, and in the summer to get some players in, and then we can see, right, you've got a lot more better players now. Let's see if he's got the balls to get rid of some of these players. Because if we go into next year and he keeps Odebert, he keeps these players, it's on him. It's all on him.
Totally. I agree with that. He needs
now, it's not all on him. It's not all on him.
But fellas, can I ask you very quickly, Ryan? This is a big thing. What has changed from Manchester City and PSG? Because watching those two games, I was proud to be a Spurs fan because we were resilient, we were pressing high, we were making it difficult for the teams. What has changed at Tottenham Hotspurs from those two games into what we currently have now? Is it as simple as a formation change to that 3 at the back or 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it?
Benny, I can answer this.
Go on.
We Are Tottenham TV. Sorry, Scott, he didn't need to drop Van der Ven midweek. Van der Ven does not look like he's going to pull his hamstring anymore. We've changed our system. Van der Ven is fit and healthy. He can play plenty of games.
Why the fuck he changed the goalkeeper? I don't know.
He rotated Van der Ven and shoehorned our best defensive midfielder all season. He shoehorned him into centre-back. So there's things he did midweek that he wouldn't have done because tonight he didn't do it. Tonight Van der Ven started, Paulinho in the 6. He could have done that midweek. It's things like that. But the question was what Ben said is what's happened from Man City and PSG to now. Benny, I was watching We Are Tottenham TV yesterday and they interviewed the Spurs drummer, the guy that does all the drumming in the South Stand.
Yep.
And he was saying he loves Frank, he likes him, but Frank has stopped doing Frank things. He's stopped adapting, Benji. He stopped looking at it and saying, right, let me just change it. Like what Dan said earlier, adapting to your opposition. He seems to have stopped doing that. And we're hell-bent on, there's certain things like it doesn't seem like he's prepared to budge. And we're being sussed out because of it. And look, Kudus, the last month, teams have shut him down. They've shut him down because they know everything goes through him.
Oh, they was doing it from day still with him. They was doing it from day.
Yeah, but now they've all clocked on. And we haven't adapted to that. And you look at the midfield, mate, we go into every game, Benji, just we're set up not to lose. It's too negative. I get why he does it, Man City away, Everton away, teams that haven't lost there or teams that are different. I get, no one's complaining about that. Even when we drew at Brighton, no one's complaining about that. But at home against Wolves, against our second biggest rivals, Chelsea, a team that lost to Sunderland 2-1 last week, you know, in the Champions League, away to Bodo, that's when fans say, hold on a minute,
That was bad.
Why aren't you adapting? Mate, Monaco was horrendous.
Yeah, that was worse than this game. Now the thing is still, when you play 3 at the back, call it 5 at the back, whatever.
But why still?
I don't know, Benji. I don't know. He never did this.
When you play 3, 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it, but a lot more people know it as a 3-4-2-1. But as soon as people hear 3 at the back, they switch off. That's not the Spurs way. I don't want to hear it. It's pragmatic. It's negative. No, it's fucking not.
Yeah.
When you play three at the back properly, you play three at the back, and we got Paulina there. If we're getting the ball forward, sitting just below the halfway line, basically to cover the three at the back as well. You got more defense there than we usually ever had there, because we usually only ever had one or fucking two defenders there. The whole lot can press forward. The whole lot can press as much as they want because your arse is covered. That is how you attack when you use three at the back. And when you come out from the back using three at the back, you're nice and covered with five at the back sometimes when need to be. And then that's when the direct ball comes forward and you take it from there. Use your wing backs to bombard up the pitch, put it through the middle, then out wide or down the middle. You've got options. Three at the back doesn't mean you're playing negative football. Now, understand, you don't have to play this every time. But again, this team is not made for a 4-2-3-1. Never. And this is where I do think Frank should be seeing it, because we're having one of the same problems we had last year, which is Porro, who is a liability in defence. Again, great attacking player. Defender, shambles. He's terrible, in my opinion. Yeah? They just focus on him all the time, even down to fucking Doncaster. There you go. Porro, can't tackle for shit. Pass it over to him. Long ball, long ball, long ball, direct ball. Put the pressure on him. He will fuck up. And he does. And he did a few times today as well. Kudus, stick two men on him at a time. Get him out of the game. We're cooked. We're done. We haven't got an idea where to do. So now, for me, you've then got to change it. Wings is our weakest point, if anything, even though Kudus is one of our best players. But if he's played out of the game every fucking game, he's irrelevant, basically, except he can be a bit of a target man and hold the ball. Right, so what do? Put him in the middle. It's a lot harder to block out a number 10 out of a game, especially when you've got two of them standing there, than it is a winger. Because when you've got the man in the middle, you then either need the two central to be looking at him, and that's not going to happen, or you need someone coming deep and the centre to be doing him, or you need one of the left or the right back to cut. Either way, it opens up your middle too much, especially if you're playing four at the back. So if we're playing two there as 10 roles, basically, to drift out, to do their shit, whatever you want them to do, you can't mark them out a game as simple as you can someone on the wing. On the wing, you can mark someone out a game very easily. We get it done week in, week out. And then they focus on Porro every bloody time without fail. We already know what's going to happen. To an extent, it's almost got a bit of Ange ball in it, in the aspect of teams are just doing it. The same teams are doing exactly the same stuff to us. They're just doing that one thing that takes us out of the game. And this is where Frank has to see that and surely adapt to it. Now, I understand we got injuries to it, but I still think we've got players there that will play a better than a 4-2-3-1. As soon as Kudus is marked out and you focus on Porro, we're pretty much fucked.
Do you know what? Last year, when Frank had to play 2 games a week, his win rate dropped down to 24% from about 52. It halved. And I was saying to the other Spurs guys about a month ago, I'm interested to see what happens when we go to 2 games a week. Because at Brentford, Frank's teams didn't do well when they had to play 2 games a week. Now, they didn't have to play many games twice a week. But when they did, there was a significant difference in results. The exact same thing has just happened at Spurs. 2 games a week. I'm wondering whether he's got enough experience in juggling 2 games a week. I'm genuinely.
You think that's why he's not adapting still?
Listen, it happened at Brentford. And whenever I raise any kind of angle or whatever, there's always someone to say, but it's okay, right, well, fine. Just keep doing what we're doing then. But just don't cry when we lose every week then. Just don't moan ever about it. Just accept it. Benji, you know, sometimes you try and find an answer just to sound like you know your shit. Mate, I don't know why he's not adapting, geezer. I don't. Only he knows the answer to it.
Listen, I don't either. I was hoping you do, mate, for fuck's sake.
I don't think any Spurs fan knows why he's not adapting. I just think he just needs to be a bit more risk-taking. Maybe he's scared that if we do go for it, we get battered. But the thing is, we're getting battered every week now. So what does it matter? If we were drawing every week and winning the odd game, I get him not taking risk because he's slowly picking up points. But now it's not working. Like, mate, you don't have an excuse not to be a bit more adventurous because we're fucking getting dicked on by everyone now. And
we didn't press on them today at all, did we?
Dan, Chelsea were there for the taking, man. Chelsea have been a schizophrenic football team this year. They're not that great.
I
But you
didn't
can
think they were
see-
great today.
Like they were.
I'll tell you what, though, they were hungrier than us. They wanted it.
Yes, I agree with that. But I
They
didn't think they
wanted
were
it.
special. I thought we were that poor. We made them look good. I didn't think they came out great. I mean, shooting wise, they was fucking shambles. Finishing wise, I honestly don't think they played their best. They just got made to look.
Vicario
Yeah,
played a blind
Vicario had another
again.
good game. Yep, no, I agree with that. But I don't think they came out looking special. But we came out today and we had no bollocks in us whatsoever. We done no pressing whatsoever.
Can I say, right?
Go for it.
And it's not me trying to dig out Frank, but when Conte had to beat Arsenal at home, he made sure we did it. When Ange had to beat Frankfurt away to get to the semis, he fucking did it. When Mourinho had to beat Chelsea in the knockout stage of the Carabao Cup, he beat them. You can have a team that's not good and get into the team psychologically to go out there and at least fucking fight, man. Fight. He didn't do that today. The players just looked lost, dysfunctional. Where was the fight? And it was the only fight I saw was when I think somebody put a bad foul on Paulinho and Jed Spence went up to Cucurella, looked down at Cucurella and said, I'm going to fuck you up. And Cucurella's like, oh shit. That was the only moment of the game.
No, I know what you're on about.
Jed Spence, he's a street kid. And he's tall, don't fuck around. But that was the only moment of the game where I thought, yes, Tottenham v Chelsea, let's fucking have them. Other than that, we didn't want it. And that comes from the pre-match conversation. The players weren't fired up. So at least show us that. At least that kind of 50% makes us feel better about the shit performance. At least we fucking had a fight. We didn't even do that. It was a walk in the park for Chelsea today. It was too easy, way too easy.
When you look at that team today, I mean, Vicario, another great game for it. I mean, Porro, for me, fucking hell, what a shambles of a game. Danzo, I think he struggled big time today. Mickey van der Ven, that's probably one of the worst I've seen him play for Spurs. I mean, okay, we've got cooked in other games where he's had to sit on the halfway line, but since he's been able to play as a defender sort of thing, that doesn't have to sit on the halfway line, I think that is probably the poorest I've seen him play for us. Spence, nothing. Paulinho, okay. Bentancur, lucky he's still on the pitch. Kudus marked out the game. And Romero looked like he had a bit of fight in him as well. Apart from that, that whole team just looked, I wouldn't say they didn't look like they didn't give a fuck, but they just looked like they got slapped about like a bunch of girls.
In all honesty, though, how many games this season can you really say we showed a tremendous amount of fight? Because for me, we've been poor for most of the season, and a lot of our results, if I'm honest with you, have been down to a bit of luck. Teams not showing up.
I think we've played okay this season, yeah? I think we've played good at times. I think we've played fucking bad at times, like today, like Monaco. But I think we've been okay. And
Dan, how can you say that? Can you name more than 3 games where you feel like we've played really well? I can maybe think of 4 games.
I didn't. Well, you can think of more than me then, because I don't think we have played really well for 4 games. I said overall, I think I've seen us play very good. I've seen us play very bad, but in general, we've played okay. And in general, Frank has been okay for us. No, I don't think he's worked no fucking miracles or nothing. The reason we are where we are is because we've played all right, bit of luck, we've played okay, and other teams haven't been playing good either. Nobody except Arsenal has really been consistent in this league. Nobody. Not Man City, definitely not Liverpool, not us, not Chelsea. You could say probably one of the more consistent teams has probably been Sunderland.
Dan,
you know?
Do you remember the
no one has.
Do you remember the Super Cup final? We were 2-0 up with about 8 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When he made those changes, I remember saying, what are you doing? And then we ended up going to penalties.
I agreed.
From that game, I've always been scarred at the back of my head that there is no way in a million years, if we're 2-0 up with 8 minutes to go, Mourinho or Conte lose that game. Not a fucking chance are we losing that game. Now, shit can happen, but I look at big moments and I think Newcastle Cup game, big moment. Chelsea, we've been awful at home. Go out there and, as Ricky Sachs called it, a statement win. It was abysmal. He desperately needs, as manager of Tottenham, to get a couple of big wins against teams that it means a lot to us, against teams that or the occasion means a lot to us, for him to just put some credit in the bank with the fans. Now, if we could go away to the Emirates and get a draw or beat them, for example, it puts credit in the bank. It gives him, it gets him some breathing space. If we go to PSG and miraculously get anything, I mean, we're going to get battered, we know it. If we miraculously get anything,
I'm looking forward to it.
He needs a game or two where he just puts some credit in the bank with the fans, because he's, these are games we as fans don't accept that, especially when there's no fight. Ange lost the fans because of games like this. He lost the fans because of games like this, but because he obviously won the Europa Cup, we can get into that another time. We've done it 1,000 times. That kind of saved him a bit.
It reeled a few people back in as such.
It gave him a bit of credit in the bank. He listen, whatever anyone says, he can turn around and say, I'm the only manager that's won a trophy at this club for 17 years. Say what you want.
Agree.
I've done it. Frank needs to put a little bit of credit in the bank. He kind of got some when he beat Man City away. He did, because it was a great performance. He set us up well. We were pressing so well in that game. The press was brilliant and the team were just fantastic. Some of us fans said, guys, but we always do well against City. But nonetheless, the performance was excellent. Like Benji was saying about it earlier. He needs another game like that, quick, so that the fans can say, all right, cool. All right, okay. All right, breathe. Okay. Because if he doesn't, mate, it's going to get toxic. You know it is. They were booing at the end of the game.
Mate, I know this fan base well enough, same as you do. I mean, and in that aspect, I said this was going to happen as soon as he took over, that there's going to be a lot of people on his case because they still wanted Ange in. But there's also going to be a lot of people on his case because he isn't going to play, in general, the Spursy style of fucking football, which to me, some crazy fans think there is a Spurs way to play football. Well, please someone tell me fucking when that style of football was. What, because we won a fucking trophy, because we won a league with it 70 odd years ago, or because we've won a couple of games playing that way? When have we consistently played this Spurs style of football? Because if we go by this Spurs football, what I hear off a lot of people, or hear off a different generation of people, let's say, well, that wasn't the Pochettino way. That wasn't the Spurs style of football either. What a lot of people claim is the Spurs style of football, unless I've understood something wrong. But people didn't complain because we was winning left, right, and centre for it. We just never won nothing out of it. Yeah, same as playing. If you're going to play pragmatic like Conte, as long as you're winning the games, you'll still get the moaners out there. You'd always will, especially at Spurs. We're probably the most moaning club on the planet. But to an extent, they keep their mouth shut. As soon as you're not winning the games and playing that way, that's when they come for you, and they come for you properly.
Fans will go off you quicker than hot milk, mate.
Yep, especially Spurs fans. Because a lot of people say we've still got this miraculous way that we're meant to play football or whatever, when fucking no manager has come in here. No, I don't think anyone knows how we're meant to play football. Please, someone do tell me, what is the Spurs way of playing football? What is the Spurs way? I don't know.
Producing magic at times. That's it.
Isn't that any club's way to play football then?
But I suppose so. But
so tell me, what's the Man U way to play football? What's the Liverpool way to do it? What's the Juventus way to do it? What are the, it all depends down to the manager you get. So what has been the Spurs way to play football then for the past 50 years?
There is no. This is the Spurs way. They're talking about.
I agree.
In the 80s, and
it's bullshit. I'm sorry. Most of us are too young for that shit. Not all of us have been through World War II.
I think for World War II. I think some fans have just been. Can you just play? Do you know what it is, guys? Harry Redknapp for 4 years and Pochettino for 5 years gave us brilliant football. Just brilliant football. We had better players. Let's caveat that, but the football's brilliant. And I said it on the Spurs 5. From the day Poch left, the football's just been meh for 5-6 years. Now Frank's come, it's just as bad as it's been before. The football's just as shit to watch. I don't care.
It ain't looking pretty.
I've said Frank gets a year, I give him a year. But at the same
Mhm.
time, I can say this football is shit. Absolute rubbish to watch. I've got a question for both of you, by the way. In fact, I'm not even going to ask the question. I'm just going to say the name and you know what the question is. All right. Xavi Simons.
Okay. Right. I spoke about this earlier. My opinion on him at the moment,
Okay.
he has been poor. There's no okay about it. He has been poor. Very
Yeah.
poor at that as well. Yes, I've seen moments in him, and I've seen him have an okay game. One okay game. But apart from that, literally every time I've seen him on the pitch, he's looked bad. Leicester he's looked bad. And I've seen a moment or two out of him where you can definitely see the skill in that player. Like today, where I can't remember who it was. Third time I've said this now. 2 players he got it round on midfield, went round one, went round the other, went to go, and the Chelsea player literally went like that and he went flying. He has not got the physicality. He's so fucking lightweight. It is unreal. But are we playing him the right way? What is the right way for him? Does he even know why we got him here? Did we get him to play on the left? Did we get him to play as a 10? Is he going to play as a... Does he even know what he's meant to be doing out there as such? Does Frank even know how he wants to play him? Is it the injuries making him play him a certain way or in certain formations and that? I think Savvy, since he's come to us, has been fucking poor. But again, not everyone adapts in 5 minutes. If I don't see improvement still by January, like at least see him up in his game a level or two, then I'm going to start questioning it. Because at the end of the day, we still spent 50 odd million on him, yeah? Then I'm going to start questioning it if I see no improvement. But then I'm also going to start questioning Frank as well. Why isn't that player improving? Why do you keep playing from pillar to post, basically? Then I will start questioning things. But I do understand that some players take time. But for me, fucking it, there's nothing off the fella. I mean, we've grilled Archie Gray about it enough, and Bergville, and Stel, and Tell, and Oderbert. And for me, he looks as bad as them. If I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen nothing out of Savvy which tells me he's any... I've seen a moment or two out of him. I'm going to make a big comment here, yeah? I'm just going to be honest with myself. I've seen moments out of him where I can see there's a player there. But I can't see I've seen anything special out of him that puts him on a different rank to Oderbert, Bergville.
I'm going to be even harsher. I'm going to say this much.
I haven't seen nothing special out of him, but he needs some time. I'll give it that. But honestly, I haven't seen anything that makes him any better than Tell. Oderbert, Gray, or fucking Bergville. If I'm going to be honest to myself, that's a harsh comment. I know.
No, it's not at all. I actually think I'll go one step further. I actually think Xavi Simons is one of the biggest contributors as to why we lack fluidity in attack. He was,
but is it the people around him?
No, that's fine. I still think that's nonsense. Well, not nonsense, but I don't think that's as big as a contributing factor as you might think. Look, you can see in the training videos that Xavi's been brought in to be that magic man, to be that creator. If you watch him in game, his movement for me is absolutely shocking. He hides behind players. He doesn't mix it up. He won't go left to right. He tends to mainly stick on that left, which is a way to shut a player out of the game nice and easy. But the bigger problem you've got with Xavi is the fact that not only have you brought in a very little man to adapt to a very tough Premier League, but now you've got someone who's trying to adapt to the Premier League who's got zero confidence. His confidence is shot to pieces. And when you're trying to adapt to a new league and you've got no confidence, you are in for a lot of trouble. But as it stands, for me, watching Xavi is like watching Tell in the centre. He offers nothing. And again, I know that sounds harsh me saying that, because I've got a lot of faith that he will come good eventually. I mean, again, the example I used earlier was someone like an Enzo Fernandez. We all laughed at 120 million for him. He was fucking terrible. But 2 years later, he's turned into a very decent and respectable player. And I'm pretty sure with the pedigree that Xavi's got, that will happen for us as well. Maybe he needs to go away, I don't know, put on some meat or something and come back and go again. But Yeah, as it stands, he offers us absolutely nothing. I watched a game not so long ago where the commentator for 60 minutes was taking a piss out of him. Xavi didn't even make a single pass correctly.
He was more willing today, and this. I mean, I was speaking with Sava before, like on his show before the game started, where I think we're just trying to work out what fucking formation is this. I mean, the way they set it up now as well, where they show you the players, but they show them by number instead of putting defenders, midfielders, and that. It's like playing a fucking game on its own. You might as well make a PlayStation game out of trying to work that. It's more fucked up than Tetris. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I do struggle looking at that. I need a pen and paper next to me to work out what it actually is as such. But there is no way I thought we was going to play a 4-2-3-1. Because there is not. How the hell can you go and put Bergvall out on the left? I don't. That is what I saw today. Sarah's to 10, Bergvall on the left. Simmons couldn't have been that badly done.
It's not the game to experiment, is it?
No. I must admit, when I saw it as a 4-2-3-1, I did sit there and think, Frank, what the fuck are you doing, mate? I must admit, I was waiting for a 3-5-2, 3-5-1-1, 5. I was waiting for something, but I was not expecting Bergvall out on the left.
Still, what is your take on Xavi then, mate?
Yeah, go on.
I really, really like him. I think he's a really good player. I think he's physical. But since coming to Spurs, it looks like we've bought a dud. It really looks like we've signed an absolute fucking dud. He looks hopeless, man. Absolutely hopeless. He gets pushed off the ball so easily. And that wasn't
as bad as Johnson. He gets pushed as bad as Johnson.
To be fair, he's always been like that in his career. If you watch, he's always been very slight.
He's never been a physicality player.
He's known for going down as well.
Yeah, but he used to win so many tackles for RB. Do you know one thing I did notice?
He's tenacious, but not strong.
Yeah, maybe that's the best way of putting it. Tenacious, but not strong. I can go with that.
Fair enough.
Do you know, at RB Leipzig, he played in a 4-2-2-2. And it worked better for him. Because he'd pick up the ball a bit deeper, travel with it, maybe beat a man, and then he'd have 3 or 4 options to feed players in. The way we play, there's not really much focus on passages of play through that middle, which is what he was good at. Do you know what? It's almost like when Man City signed Jack Grealish. You signed a dribbler and you want him to pass the ball. You know, we've signed a player that plays down the middle who looks to feed players in, and we're playing the ball out wide. But when we do have those odd occasions when he gets the ball in the middle, he fucks it up. He stops and passes it backward, or he doesn't feed it quick enough to the players that are making the forward runs. I don't know if we're set up in a way that doesn't bring the best out of him, or he needs more time to adapt, or he just looked good in Germany and he's not going to cut it out here. I don't know.
Well, in Germany, he did play out wide enough times, but played out wide as more of a playmaker out wide to also cut it in as a bit of an inverted forward sort of thing. Because he did make things happen from out wide. He actually played out more on the left than he did in the middle in Germany last season. I think it was only by about 2 games, but he did actually play, and he created and scored just as many as he did in the middle. But again, I agree with what you're saying. I don't think this team is made for a 4-2-3-1. Still, I don't think nothing has changed. I think this team is built for 3 at the back, wing backs, or use them as right wings, left wing, whatever, and play 2 behind a fucking striker. I think that is what I don't think nothing has changed. Especially with the players we've got. I think it suits these players better to play that way, to play that formation.
You know, you're right. It hasn't changed. It hasn't. And a lot of the results have actually masked over the cracks, if we're honest about it. A lot of games where we've drawn or only lost by a goal. Listen, Bodo could have battered us. Monaco should have humiliated us. Chelsea should have torn us a new one today. Bournemouth should have scored 5 against us. I think we've been getting away with it, and now it's all beginning to unravel a little bit. But with Xavi Simmons, I don't think the way we play suits him. I don't think we're set up to play the way that suits his game.
Same as it doesn't suit Porro.
Yes, same for Porro. Yeah, it doesn't.
I agree.
Elaborate on that, still. What do you mean about Xavi there?
Well, he played in a 4-2-2 and he dropped a bit deeper. He's not, like, people think he's a 10. He's not. He's a hybrid 8-10. He's a bit of both, but he creates more. So people think, oh, he's a 10. And let's not forget, the only reason we signed him is because Maddison got injured. If Maddison didn't get injured, would we have signed Simmons? I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
So there's a little bit of panic in this signing, a little bit. So he's come in. You know, he does need time to adapt to the physicality of the Premier League. Heung-Min's son wasn't good when he first came.
He nearly left after his first season. He was that bad.
Yeah. It happens to a lot of players. So he needs to be given time. But he was good at RB Leipzig because he'd drop into the 8, carry the ball, beat a man. But because they played a 4-2-2-2, he always had 3 players in front to pick from. Whereas because we played wide, he hasn't got the players making. It was a bit like Liverpool. Liverpool used to play Firmino and Salah, and Firmino was in the forward row, but he'd drop behind the other two. They'd go forward. He'd pick up the ball. He'd either feed in Mane or feed in Salah, but he always had one of those two to feed. With the way we play, we don't quite have those players in front for him to feed. But having said that, when those odd moments happen, when we're on the counter and he can feed a player in, he fucks it up. So when the moment does come, he's not doing it. But he had a lot more moments to do it when he was at RB Leipzig. Guys, when you look at the amount of shots we've had, the amount of chances we created, you look at the XG, you look at all the stats, that says to me we're not playing in a way that allows us to create. It's easy to say, oh, we've got no creative players in this team. Yeah, you can say we're not as creative as what we could be if we had more talented, technical football players. But you can still create moments. You can still create chances by the way you move the ball. And I think the way we're set up to move the ball doesn't work for Xavi Simmons. It doesn't suit the style of football.
You say movement of the ball as well, and this is one thing I'm starting to pick up on a bit as well. I just thought maybe it's for the moment. But the other thing I'm starting to notice as well, one thing I complained consistently about under Ange, and people keep saying, why do you have to bring Ange into it? Well, I can only compare to last season. I can only start comparing to Thomas Frank after this season. I always compare to the season before. There's no point comparing 5 miles down the fucking road. But if you want to just totally push him out of it, I can only then turn about what we're doing now. I have to compare to something. And one thing I could not fucking stand under Ange that really pissed me off more than anything was the way we used to play that ball out from the back, take more chances in front of our own fucking goal than we would passing the ball about in front of their fucking goal. We'd part up the other end, we'd pass it back out of safety instead of take that 70-30 chance that it don't go right. Whereas in front of our goal, we'd take that 80-20 chance that it don't go right and fucking pass it. We've got a goalkeeper that is absolutely shambolic on his feet, but fucking good shot stopping, like I've always said. And we're still playing it out from the back. We're still passing it to him or whoever to tap it to then how the Chelsea players closed us down. Fuck up, because they had so much pressure on them and it went in the back of the net. We're doing exactly the same from the back, and I must admit, I don't like it.
This is what I said earlier on. When teams press well, why are we doing it? Do you know, as much as Ange was...
When in doubt, kick it out.
Yeah, 100%. As much as Ange was a disaster class in defence, and it was just, how not to defend when you're out of possession, right? How not to give the opposition 2 million chances to score. He was horrendous. You cannot say we didn't create chances with him. You cannot say with pretty much the same squad, we did not attack far more fluid. So, there's a reason Johnson got 19 goals last season, because we created enough chances in a certain area for him to pop up and put it in the back of the net. We're not doing that now. This team, it might not score more goals, but it's certainly capable of getting the ball higher up the pitch a lot more than what we're seeing.
I agree.
And for me, that's what Frank needs to just take a bit of risk and say, do you know what? Let's be a bit more adventurous. Because, like I said, guys, If you're going to be pragmatic and you're going to be a bit more defensive, fine, but then don't lose the game. If you're going to do that and we're losing every week, mate, just
People will
attack
turn.
then. Just fucking attack.
Then you might
That's
as well
what
just
you
do an Ange.
Well, maybe not that.
Is that what
No.
you're saying? I was going to say,
Can I-
surely not that deep.
I'll tell you what, there was 2 or 3 times Chelsea got in behind us. We were so high up, I thought it was Ange ball. There was 1 or 2 moments.
Twice I saw the same thing. I know what you're talking about.
I'm
I
like,
must
well,
admit, that first time where it came straight down the middle, I was like, fuck, that was a bit Angie. I know
was,
exactly the 2 bits you're on about.
Yeah.
But something ain't ticking here at the moment. And again, I keep saying it, for me, 2.5 years now since you've known me on here still now, which is nearly 2.5 years. Yeah, and I'm not going to change it until the players change. Now, a lot of people are going to think, no, that's just your set way of playing, how it's got to play. No, it's not. Give me a different set of players and I'll play a total different formation. I just don't think nothing's changed in this team for nearly 2.5 years with the players we've got. I still think it is built for a 5 at the back, wing backs. That is what it's built for. I mean, up wide on both sides now, like other people have said, should we have got rid of Son? Yes, we should have. He was past his sell-by date, but at the moment you're sort of looking at it and also thinking, Tell and Odebert don't exactly look sexy either. Fucking nor does Simmons. Maybe we should have. I know.
And they're just absolute fucking.
But to me,
it's like the Jason Dezelle days, man. It's like the Chris Armstrong days and these fucking Andy Sinton. They're better. In fact, they're all better. I'll take all of them back. I really would. All of them. I'll take them all back over this lot.
We've got no creativity in that team whatsoever.
We do.
Or we're not using any.
We're not using it. Yeah, it might not be Modric or Christian Eriksen levels of creativity, right? We know we don't have that.
No, of course not.
But we've got more than what we're seeing. Hey, an
Yeah,
XG.
for sure.
Was it one shot on target or something?
The XG was something like 0.005.
Mate,
and Thomas Frank has never managed a team with XG that low in his entire career.
I didn't know you could get XG that low unless you didn't have
It's
a shot.
crazy. But do you know what? Tottenham fans themselves.
Benji, that's what I mean. Benji, that's what I mean. The Spurs drummer, he said this. Frank is doing things that Frank doesn't do. It's almost like you come to Spurs and you go to shit. You just turn to shit. You just become
That's what I'm worried about. Do you know, I'm going to say something. I'm worried that he's no longer going to adapt to Tottenham. He's going to adapt to Tottenham and maybe buckle to the pressures of being at a bigger club. That's what I'm a little bit worried about. But I think the biggest issue you've got as Spurs.
But Levy ain't here anymore.
No,
so surely
I know,
he doesn't have to look over his shoulder as much as others have.
Well, that's true. But I think that the biggest problem you've got at Tottenham Hotspurs is something we've been craving for fucking years since Pochettino is consistency. And unfortunately, the only way you get that is by giving a decent manager, such as Frank, albeit a little bit inexperienced, the time. And what concerns me is I feel like a manager like Frank is going to need 2 years to really bed in, to really get the team ticking. But fellas, I don't think he's going to get that time, boys. I don't. I really don't.
Especially if he's not, especially with a lot of the fan base still wanted Ange in, especially with a lot of the fan base don't want to see any sort of pragmatic style of football. They just want to see attacking football, sexy football, which Spurs have which never usually have ever played sort of, bar maybe games here and there. And you can already see a lot of this fan base is turning on him. Now, I'm not, but I'm going to question when it goes wrong and I'm going to say when it goes right.
Absolutely.
Whereas other people, they just don't want to question it full stop. Let's just be positive about this. Well, we had this debate, Ange and everything else. Some are toxic negative, some are toxic positive, and then some people are realistic. At the moment, if you're going to be realistic, there's a bit more negative to look at than positive at the minute, but it's early days. So I will give him till the end of the season before I make a judgment. But if things aren't going right, same as players, I will sit there and fucking question him. And at the moment, something ain't ticking like some of those players. So I'm not just going to sit here and say, I'll turn a blind eye to it and play ignorance is bliss. I don't know what some people want. I will sit there and fucking question it. And at the moment, I think he's getting it a bit more wrong than he is right. Bergvall out on the left. What was that about today? Please, someone explain that to me. I know I've mentioned it 100 times, but I just don't get that one.
Like I said earlier, sometimes you just try and find an answer to come across like you're really intelligent at football when you don't know the answer. And this is one of those moments where I've got no idea why Bergvall was out on the left. No.
I mean, when I saw that
why
today,
did Pochettino start Heung-Min Son at left back in the FA Cup final against Chelsea? I don't know. Why did he start Harry Kane and drop Lucas Moura in the Champions League final? I don't know.
Because the other thing that's going to show as well now, I mean, last points I'll get to, yeah.
Managers do weird things.
People do weird things. We know that, and you try and work it out sometimes. I mean, try having a wife for fuck's sake, trying to work that out sometimes. I mean,
Mate, Spurs YouTube is weird.
Right now. There you go.
Yeah, ain't that the fucking truth still? Holy.
It's a strange old fan. Spurs fan base is weird. Full stop. That's what I said. There's more apes than announced to us.
Mate, you got accounts. You got accounts called Henry Thong TV, and they go around super chatting. It's just weird. It's just weird shit.
Turns you on at the end of the day. It's each their own, isn't it? Some like blonde hair, some like black hair.
You know, it's just weird.
Some like unicorns, some like rainbows. At the end of the day, as long as you play your fucking football properly, I don't care. But it's just with that.
What was the other account? Donna Cullen. Donna Cullen used to come in our chats.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. Just weird.
Still does.
Up until January, I mean, without Levy being here as well, you'd think that it's got to be a different. You'd think that surely there's a different zone up at Spurs. I mean, we don't know. We ain't there. Do you think that if it gets to say, I think we've got to wait until at least the end of the next window to see whether this, not just January, but the end of the summer window to see whether the club means business or not, yeah? To see whether this club is changing, is adapting. And I think over the next year and the next window is where we're going to see what the real problem was at Spurs. Was it Levy? Or was it down to Enoch and Levy was just doing all he could do with what he had?
See, call me crazy.
That's the question I'm asking. I don't know.
Do you know what? Honestly, call me crazy, but I actually like the way Spurs are moving at the moment. You know, look, they've thrown in, Enoch have thrown in £100 million investment. Now, I know that's probably not all going to be transfers. I understand that. But the fact that they've started with that, and I said that's the beginning. The fact that they have brought in Paratici, which I think is mostly a fan favourite. I like the way Paratici does business. Personally, I'm a big fan of him. You know, so I'd like to think that the club are actually moving in the right direction. It's just the team that are fucking up at the minute. But again, you need patience with that.
What's moving in the right direction? What has actually moved in the right direction?
Hiring the right people, getting rid of a parasite. And I'll call it for what it is. I always thought Daniel Levy was a fucking parasite. I hated the guy. I know it's a strong word. Say what you want. Yeah. So hiring the right people, removing Daniel Levy. You know, investing. You know, I feel like these are all positive movements. You know, pushing us in a good direction. So, and again, you know, a lot of the stuff that came out that was said about the Lewis family and how they want to improve things. I mean, look, it can be all talk for all we know, but as it stands, I feel like those 3-4 former things I've just mentioned are a step in the right direction. So, I mean, yeah, again, we won't truly know till January and or really next summer.
End of next summer is when we're going to be able to sit here and see whether something has changed here. I mean, if I'm going to be totally honest here, sticking 100 million into the club, that's tuppence money. That is fucking tuppence money for what other clubs have done. Arsenal have spent over a fucking billion in the past, 4 years, 5 years? And you're telling me sticking in 100 million is going to start fixing things at Spurs. Okay, it might get us a better player. If anything, with that 100 million, that might get us a player and two contracts in there. So we definitely have to see something bigger than that happen. So I think that's going to be the question. How much is the club actually going to change without Levy? Was he actually the biggest problem?
I mean, this is Mystic Meg question, mate. Yeah,
exactly.
We're never going to know.
I don't know.
Daniel Levy is a problem because he facilitated the last 5 years of a shit show. It was his choice. He said it. He publicly came out and said, it was the hardest thing ever for me to sack Pochettino, and I'm taking a big risk here. Only time will tell. Well, you got it wrong. You got it wrong.
Yeah.
You got it. That we've spent £850 million since Poch has been sacked. Are you telling me he couldn't have rebuilt an unbelievable football team whilst we still had Kane and Son in their prime? Listen, man, Levy fucked it. He took a gamble because he saw the shiny objects. You know they say don't be distracted by shiny objects. He saw Mourinho available and he thought, oh, I can't miss out on this. If he had balls, he would have backed Poch, who put credit in the bank, and said, what do you need? The stadium's built now. What do you need? And we could have spent that money and Poch could have built a brilliant team. But no, he went with Mourinho. He gets us to a final and he fucking sacks him. So what do you bring him in for then, you idiot? You stupid man.
But that's contrary to what an idiot he is, Sav, because you can't bring in managers like Mourinho and Conte, which both have a very similar trait. They are paid to win managers. They will go out and buy best in class for the most part.
That's not true.
And you're bringing them to Tottenham Hotspurs, where you're going to say, right, so you want... And it happened as well. Look at
basically,
Conte.
Ben, the question I was asking with it, is basically, Frank, under any sort of different pressure, shouldn't it, you'd have thought things have changed at the club in an atmosphere-wise or something without Levy being there, since he basically was Tottenham Hotspur to an extent. And it's going to be, we're not going to see until the end of next summer to see if he gets the support that he needs as a manager and if anything has changed at the club, basically, and how much of a parasite Levy actually was and how much he actually... Because I'll tell you one thing, if nothing has changed in the next window, in the next summer window anyway, because January is a fucking awkward time, we know that, then you'll know that's what I'm basically saying. Then you will know the main problem. There was always one person upstairs. Not saying he was never a problem, but then you'll see what the main problem was, and that was the dog upstairs.
Yeah, I agree.
Is Frank even going to last that long?
We're going to find out. God knows with this.
Because there's a lot of people turning on him.
If he doesn't fix the home form, then he's in trouble. 100%. There's a comment here by Jake Free Range who says Arsenal spent 873 million, Spurs spent 855 in the last 5 years. Pretty much the same, right? A couple of things. You spent close to 1 billion, not 873. I don't care if you ask.
1.1 billion. They've spent more than City.
Right. I don't care if you've gone on to ChatGPT or Google. Go to Transfer Market. Look at all the players that have been bought, where they list the actual valuation, the price that was paid. The second thing is, you spent all that money on one manager. One. We spent it on 6 different managers, meaning not one manager at Spurs has ever had that sum of money that Arteta's been given. No manager at Spurs, the most any manager was given was Poch, which was about 300 million over 5 years. Since he left, I think Mourinho spent 180. Then Conte came to rebuild. He spent about 220. I think Ange spent 300. Right. So no manager at Spurs has ever even come close to spending £400 million to build his team, let alone
1.1 billion
that Arteta spent. And yet we've still won more than you lot doing it. And you've had
whilst also being wrangled, by the way, with a low player wage, which has not allowed us to go out and buy top quality players. All the money we've been spending has been on little 30s to 60 sort of £1 million players.
And Arsenal's wage bill, they pay their players more.
Exactly, which is why they could land players like your fucking Declan Rice's.
This is one thing I'm worried about at the moment, yeah? I mean, today, I think Van der Ven, like I said, that's the worst I've seen him play for Spurs as just an out-and-out centre-back, not someone who sits from the...
And the whole team was shit, other than Vicario.
You can't pick out anyone, mate.
And I think Paulinho was all right, and I think Kudus tried, and I think Romero was respectable when he came on. I thought Danzo had a fucking terrible game, and so did Van der Ven. But if Van der Ven plays an average like he's going to be gone at the end of the season unless we put a contract on him. He's still under less money than fucking Archie Gray, isn't he?
Yeah, that's coming though, isn't it? That's coming.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, there are plenty of rumours that. I mean, you're gonna have to put him on some decent money. That boy is something else. But yeah, rumours are circulating.
want him, don't they? Real Madrid want him.
Yeah, so I've heard. And even if we do give him a new contract, Real Madrid come shining. Baked potato, mate. See you later. He's gone. So after today, then, last I'll ask on it, because I've got to go finish my drink and sort a few things out. Where do you think we're going to go from here? Do you think things are going to improve over time, or do you just think we are literally going to hit a landslide and it's going to get worse, the fans are going to get worse, and he's already losing the dressing room?
Can I go first? Because I'll be real quick. I think things are going to get worse before they get better. And that's it.
Before we played Monaco, that was the beginning of 10 games coming up. And I said, I do not see Spurs winning more than 2 games. Drew with Monaco, beat Everton, lost to Villa, lost to Newcastle, lost to Chelsea. That's 1 in 5. There's 5 to go. I think I'm going to be spot on. We're not winning more than 2 games in 10. And I stick by that. Which game we win, I don't know. But we might not even win it. I think we're going to draw a couple more, lose a couple more. I think Arsenal batter us, PSG batter us, Newcastle away. They're going to go full strength. They'll beat us. So that leaves us with Man United at home and Copenhagen. I think we draw with Man United and I think we beat Copenhagen and then we lose the next 3. It's the way we lose, though, Dan. But it's the way we lose. If we lose playing like today, then the fans are going to tell Frank to go fuck himself. They don't give a shit. Our fans don't give a shit, mate.
No, that's very true. I mean, the thing is exactly like what happened with Conte. A lot of fans didn't like his style of play because I think a lot of Spurs supporters think we should be playing this certain way. But while he was winning, they kept their mouth shut to an extent. You still had some moaners on there, like you had some. I'll say it straight, like you had some dickheads fucking going on that they'd rather lose a game 6-3 than play pragmatic and lose it 1-0. To me, that's just fucking. I can't work that one out. But whatever turns you on at the end of the day. But if you're winning it, people will accept it to an extent. But as soon as you stop winning it, people will turn a lot quicker than someone who's, let's say, what some would say, playing attacking football.
Listen, man, that PSG Super Cup final for me, that was strike 1. Resting players against Newcastle to go out the cup, to then put in a performance like that with your full strength lot, that's strike 2. 3 strikes, and we need to have a serious conversation. I'm not there yet, though. I don't expect him to win any of the next games. So, I mean, if we lose to Copenhagen, that's strike 3. I mean, Copenhagen at home, that's strike 3.
Yeah, I mean, games like going into Bodo Glimt and that, I'm sorry, their away record is respectable, but I'm sorry, I'm going in there and I am all right. There's no game where you've got you're entitled to win it as such. I get that, yeah, but there is certain ones that you go in for that, yeah, we should be winning that game, where your expectations are a lot higher than others. And Christian, thanks a lot, mate. Quick question for you then, Stel. Just before I leave here, question for Stel. What's happening with Tottenham away?
So, Will Stewart has removed us all from the channel. He's not talking to us. He's not communicating to us. He's blocked Mari. It's just a shit show. So we were going to start a new channel, but then everyone just feels disheartened because this will be the 3rd time we've lost the channel. Not everyone's feeling it, but it looks like now Mari, who's still got his old channel, Mari's TV, whatever, I don't know, the Love Lounge, I think it was called. He's now going to turn that into Tottenham away. We're probably going to relaunch on Mari's old channel in the next couple of weeks. That's the plan. As far as I'm aware, I think Iggy is now up for it. Maz is up for it. I think JP doesn't want to know anymore. So it'll probably be Mari, myself, Iggy, and Maz. But I'll let everyone know if it goes ahead. But it is what it is, guys. I don't get emotional about it because I've been through it so many times.
That would be the 3rd time, though. Complete head fuck. I can see that. And plus, the other thing is, after games, you'll get plenty of other people wanting to come on there as well. I think it'll pick up quick enough, but I can understand that must be a complete draw. being the third time. After the second time, you got that up to 30 plus, and then starting again. That's going to be.
Do you know what the weird thing is? So, Johnny Savalubo, whatever, Sean said to me, do you want to do the Spurs 5? So I said to the Tottenham away guys, I'm going to do it, but it's not going to interfere with Tottenham away. Tottenham away is still going to be the thing that I do the most. They're like, yeah, cool. Because I didn't have to ask them, but we do. We're all friends. It's good to do that. And literally, as the Spurs 5 was being set up, Tottenham away collapsed. It just completely got we couldn't access it. And then about a month ago, Will completely took all access away from us. So,
fuck knows what happened there, mate. I don't even know the fella enough to know what's happened.
Like I said to you, Spurs YouTube is weird.
Oh, mate, compared to a few of you, I've been doing this 2.5 years now. I've been doing this 2 years, coming on 2.5 years. And yeah, one thing you do learn with YouTubing, and when you get to, for me, I look on YouTube, I look on it as there's two different worlds. There's the real world that I live in, and then there's the YouTube world. And this YouTube world is a very fucked up, strange place. Just as much as the real world, but in a very different sort of fucked up, weird way. It's like two separate worlds, and it is very, very strange.
Do you know what I've learned?
It is very fucking strange.
I'll tell you what I've learned about doing YouTube for Spurs. Be passionate, be ranty, be funny, be opinionated. Don't ever be scared to say your thing, but don't ever, ever, ever let it consume you to the point of where it's your everything and it controls you. Because there's so much more to life than football and Tottenham and whether we win or lose or whether Tell starts. There's so much more, and you kind of feel like this responsibility. I've got to go on that show. Or I've got to go live. I've got you're some kind of, you're this. People depend on you, mate.
Oh, mate, I couldn't do that. Come love nor money. You will not get me doing this that will outdo my health. You will not get me doing this because I have to. I do this when I want to, not because I have to. Never.
The day you stop running a channel, the day you stop enjoying being a guest on shows, that's a sign to take a break. And when you come back, if you still don't enjoy it, see you later. You've done your time.
You know what? I mean, the last bit I'll say then, yeah. I mean, I've had to take. I mean, that charity one I did as well. I wasn't really even fit enough to do that. I've had to take a good 6 weeks plus off of here and that for medical reasons. But I suppose there was that other little bit of it as well, where it was starting to do me head in a bit as well. And like you say, you need that arm's distance break from something. Just give me a bit of breathing space, give me a bit of time, and I'll get my shit together. But a lot of it I've had to take off for medical reasons and that, getting back on my feet and that. Quite happy to come and do a show and everything and that. But the point I'll get with you on that is the time that I feel like I'm on here because I have to be, that's when I don't do it. I do this because I want to, not because I have to.
Do you know when I realised all this stuff? when we signed Timo Werner, I went apeshit.
I know, I was there.
And then I said, if we re-sign him, I'm Ange out. Fuck. And when we re-signed him,
I remember.
Ballistic.
I know.
And what happened? So many people came for me. So many people called me out saying my opinion's shit. So many people said to me, you don't know what you're watching. And I literally felt like I had to smash him, bash him as much as I could to fight my corner. And do you know what? Like one day, I don't know what it was. I remember just sitting there going, why the fuck do I care so much about what people think I have to say about Timo Werner? I know he's shit. He's going to be shit. He's going to prove everyone he's shit. They're all going to change their mind. I thought, I take this way too seriously. I was getting so angry over the fact no one would believe me about Timo Werner. I thought,
I agreed with you from day, and there was quite a few who did agree with you.
Dan, I didn't know who I was anymore. I was getting into arguments with everyone and anyone about Timo. It was almost like it was the most important thing in my life. I thought, this is normal behaviour.
No, I mean,
I'm just chilled. I'm chilled with all of it, man. Whatever happens, at the end of the day, happens. It's out of my control. I'll say what I think, and
it's not always fun doing this and talking about Spurs all the time because, especially over the past couple of years, it's been a lot more negative than positive. But today has been a fucking pain of a game today. But it is Chelsea, and we always get thumped by
And
Chelsea.
Benji,
No
be
bollocks in it.
honest, right? Both of you, be
Go on.
honest. Did you really think we were going to win today?
No. I thought we could get a
Because
draw.
I didn't. I predicted we'd lose. When we do our predictions
I
on our
thought-
show, I said we'd lose.
So in the back of my mind, I hung on to the hope that Thomas Frank has actually got a decent record against Chelsea. Apparently, someone
That he
told me
did
this.
have.
I don't know how true
Yes.
it is.
No, yes, he does.
So
He did.
I held on the slightest bit of hope in the back of my mind, maybe, because the thing is, if I shit talk Tottenham and say we're not going to do it, we usually end up doing something. So yeah, it's for me. I mean, obviously they're our bogey team. I've watched us outperform them off the park, and they still fucking beat us. So to answer your question, no, I didn't think we were going to win.
I literally said on Monday's show,
I thought
we
we
don't
could get a
look
draw.
good. I said we don't look good. The football shit. We always struggle against Chelsea anyhow. I said we're going to lose this game. We're going to lose it. And then what I saw today, I wasn't surprised one fucking bit, man. I knew this.
I wasn't
coming.
expecting that, mate. I wasn't expecting it that bad.
Yeah, I thought we'd put up a bit more of a fight, but I wasn't that shocked. I said it on Monday. I said, guys, we ain't winning this. I said 2-1 Chelsea. Okay, it was 1-0. Should have been 4. And I'm telling you now, guys, I do not see us beating Man United. I don't think we'll beat Man United. I think Mbuemo's going to be like, old manager.
It wouldn't surprise me. You know what I mean? Before the start of the game, I thought we'd go in there as Spurs. We came out of the game as Spurs gender, for fuck's sake. That's how I see that one. Now, people, you know what I mean? From Spurs to Spurs gender. That is what we did, basically.
I do think we beat Copenhagen, though. I do think we'll get past them.
Do you, in your heart of hearts, do you really still?
Yeah,
we should.
Did you think we was going to beat Bodo as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like we're going to beat anyone at the minute, not with the football that we're playing. It's hard.
I think against the easier teams at home, like Burnley's, Villarreal's, we beat them. That's what I'm thinking. But you know what? Listen, I'm not going to pretend I've watched Copenhagen play football much, but a lot of fans have said to me, still relax, Copenhagen are good. And I'm like, yeah, but come on, really? Like, so I don't know, but
Galatasaray vibes, mate. Galatasaray vibes. That's
They ain't
great,
but they ain't special sort of thing. Same as
I've not seen them
Bodo.
play,
We should
I
have
don't
been
know.
beating Bodo,
I don't
but
know.
they're not.
What's Copenhagen's results been like so far in the Champions League?
Give me a second. I'll
I
look
can
for
check
it.
that up.
Yeah,
Oh,
what have they
God,
done
then.
so far? Maybe that'll tell us whether or not.
They're not a bad team. They're not a bad team. They're not a special team, whatever. But again, a game like Bodo, we should have been going to there to win, without a doubt. It's games like that we need.
One Spurs king has said Chelsea were lining up to score like a Bonnie Blue shoot.
What the fuck?
Big
He's
time.
not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah. Only problem is they went into there rubbered up and they fired blanks. Thank God. That's why we didn't lose fucking.
We didn't even get any lube.
No. Came out of that walking like John Wayne, that one. And Ben, you got your bit?
Yeah, I'm looking now, mate. Fucking phone is loading. Give me a second.
I'll do it now.
Yeah, go on, mate. My phone's being really slow.
Okay, so.
Oh, I've got it. Okay,
I've got
it. So do you want to know from the playoffs or no?
No, just since the league.
Okay, so they drew with Leverkusen, which I think is very respectable.
It's not bad at all.
They did lose to Karabag. They lost to Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, Dortmund.
Yeah, to be fair, their best result has been a draw thus far. So 2 losses, 1 draw.
That's what I mean. We should be beating Copenhagen at home. We should.
Yeah, I agree. And games like that. I mean, it is just a tricky one. Last thing I'll answer to it, we are Spurs TV. Dan, can you post a link for the GoFundMe for the charity stream? I think if you go back to that charity stream I've done in the messages after, I put the link on there. I'll check it up after. If it's not, I'll put the link on there. The boys things are starting to work out for the family as far as I know. I mean, he's definitely been and seen England team and everything else and that. And hopefully other things are going to work out as well. And yeah, so I take it we see you on Spurs 5 coming up soon.
I've got a funny feeling me, Johnny, and Luba are going to have a big argument. I can just feel it.
Could be interesting.
I want to hear their reasoning, their justification for that game before I
on this game, there is no justification. There is no reasoning to it. At the end of the day, the players were fucking shit. And Ange, so I'm even saying Ange now. Frank got it completely wrong today. So he deserves just as much stick as the players. Yes, there's injuries there, but he got it wrong.
To be fair, Lubo said we would lose as well, and Johnny said we'd win 2-1. So I'll go a bit easier.
I did watch some of it and that, but I thought 2-2. All right, and Ben, we'll catch up with you soon as well. Cheers for coming on, and cheers Dietrich, Eugene earlier. I will be back doing more shows slowly but surely. Just going to take me a little bit of time to go on.
Quick question. I didn't know Dietrich was on earlier. What's his position with Frank, by the way? What's he saying? Because he's always quiet.
Frank out.
Is he really?
The defence I'll give Dietrich, because I do talk to the fella a lot. He was Frank out from the minute he walked in. He didn't want Frank. He wanted a manager of a higher caliber. So he wants Frank to do well from what he said, but he didn't want him from day one. And gave me reasons. And I must admit, some of the things he said are popping up a little bit. But again, I'm willing to wait and make my judgment by the end of the season as such. But yeah, Dietrich is Ange out. I mean, Frank out. I'm so used to saying fucking Ange out. It's now Frank. Yeah, he's Frank
Dietrich's
out.
Always the first to go, man. He's always the first. He is always the first to go.
Oh yeah, but he blew his load before it even started. You know, he didn't even get to stick it in, mate. He just blew his load before he went close. So he already wanted him out. So anyway, thanks for coming on. There will be more shows slowly but surely. Be getting back together on here. Everyone, have a good night. See you later on. Take care.
Take it down.